D&D with Kristi, where we are doing a mashup of Dragon Heist and Acquisitions Incorporated. And joining me as ever are, well, 3 of our 4 heroes are here so far on this evening, afternoon, morning, depending on whatever time zone, part of the Earth you are in. I think that by tradition, we have a little bit of a party wrap-up, what happened last time to kind of set things off and put them in the right direction for this session. So, any volunteers?
I mean, I think we decided last time that was my job.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So last time, Hibara made somebody smell like dead animals. We murdered some worms. True. After which, we had a bit of a boat adventure. No boats. Boats were set on fire, which disappointed Hibara.
Unfortunately.
After which,
unfortunately, no on fire.
After which we talked to a young bronze dragon, and that's all that happened.
No, we discovered the
submersible.
The nimblewright was on one of the 3 other boats.
The USS Steve Irwin.
They were called the Heartbreaker, Hellraiser, and the one with the nimblewright was called the Eyecatcher. I wrote it down.
Well, to be clear,
we also got invited.
Just
you
to say,
my joke.
Yeah.
The stingray.
The stingray. Oh yes, the submersible. That was underneath. So technically, what happened was the owl was flying sort of by, and it was picking up because it doesn't distinguish directions. The nimblewright detector, it's kind of like, imagine an alien detector, but without any 360. It just kind of goes off, and it goes off faster when you're closer. So it was flying around.
Like a Geiger counter.
Yeah, I think that's a good comparison. And it was going off as the owl was flying around. So you weren't able to like pinpoint a particular boat, just that it kept going off because of sort of how close it could possibly get. So, yeah.
To be honest, the nimblewright can, move. So, like, it's probably not going to stay on that boat forever. Probably moves on and off of it, depending on other stuff.
You also, because you found the submersible and were able to answer the dragon's questions, you got some treasure as well last time. And also, Hibara got an invite to do something. Thelvar, and actually there were 4 tickets or 5 tickets to the theater tonight in the Castle Ward district, I believe. Check up on that again. And I think that was, we did some a little bit of like admin. You guys gave Jarvis some petty cash so that they can go and do things without you and not tip into their own money. So that was where we were going. So you, I think, at this point, were all still on the Perpetua, captained by Captain Perpetua. Very easy to remember. I made it that way. You were heading from the harbor back into the docks. You had done your sort of days, several hours trip out to see the dragon, and you were going to be coming back into the dock. So is there anything else that you guys wanted to do as you were coming back into the Great Harbor and heading for the docks that are the rightmost on the maps in the Southern Ward?
For those of us that are going to go to the opera,
yes.
I don't think we have time.
Well,
we're going to cut it really, really close.
It starts curtains up at 8:00, and it's about 5:30 when you get into the dock, and you still have your ride there. And but it is going to be cutting it close. If you go to Thelvar's house to do some costume or trying some things on, you probably could get there just about on time for the first act. You won't get there in time to sort of like schmooze with people and pay for priced drinks or a large amounts of money for very small amounts of food, but you can still get there by 8:00.
So yeah, I would say let's not do that.
Let's not do. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
let's just go straight. Let's not do anything in the harbor.
Oh, okay.
Since this is like a Thelvar thing, and I would prefer, even though Thelvar is currently
Distracted somewhere on the other side of the boat. Sure.
there we go. That it would probably be best if Thelvar got to the opera as soon as physically possible.
I
Okay.
mean, Clue doesn't really care because he's just gonna change using magic anyway, so.
Well, not all of us can change, and some of us are feminine and require time.
I mean, if he wanted to, Clue could look feminine as well. It's magic.
Again, some of us don't have magic.
I mean, sucks to be you.
Yes. They need time for that kind of beauty.
Exactly.
All right. Hibara was probably not expressed disinterest in the theater. So what are Hibara's plans?
Well, when everyone leaves to go to theater, she's gonna ask Jarvis for something.
Oh, okay.
So,
You want to go back to the inn then, or at least as far as Troll Skull Alley. I'll also say that you'll know that Colat Towers is where you had your first meeting for the faction. So you're not too far off of there now, but you can always come
I will
back there.
say she's not doing that.
Okay.
She's doing something different.
All right. Okay.
That's worrying.
Yeah. All right, yeah, so you all pull in, or at least the ship pulls in, and you disembark, get on your, not exactly the most stylish, but absolutely functional traveling cart that will take you back up to Troll Skull Alley. Now, oh, perfect. Alhan is here. Hello and welcome. Hello.
Hello, I'm sorry.
No worries at all.
Just on time.
Exactly, because the party has disembarked. They are traveling north, and did you want to go to the tavern or go straight to your house? Did Thelvar go to their house, his house?
Yeah, I was listening on the stream on the phone until I was able to
Oh, look at that.
get on my laptop. So, we head to Thelvar's home, and even if we don't change just yet, at least pick out some outfits.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to drop Hibara off as requested at the tavern on the way up to your house, which is a little bit farther north, I believe?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah. So we will come back to you, Hibara. I think we'll do the dinner preparations first. Theater preparations first. Yeah, you get back up, do a little detour over to Troll Skull Alley, and then swing back down south, because again, you live closer, or Thelvar lives closer to the City of the Dead. So you kind of like do a little bit of a loop around and arrive back to your house at around 6:30 in the evening. The houses now are starting to have candlelights as people, ward off the darkness in their homes, and they start their evening fires roaring. And yeah, you pull up, and your house, of course, is dark because I don't think there's anybody that lives there when you're not there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you pull up to
a cat.
Sometimes there's a cat. Yeah. Yeah, you pull up, and the driver sort of halts in front of your driveway, I guess, and lets you in. So, what would you like to do?
Head in. Who's coming with?
I mean, I don't need to change, but I can come inside if you want.
Translation: you have Clue and Mara with you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does Gorko plan on coming to the theater or not really?
No, we didn't take Gorko with us.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he was on the ship and he didn't really like it, and he went back to the bar.
Okay.
Okay, would anyone like a drink before we, before I get ready? And if Mara or Clue would like to pick out an outfit, or if you
I want to
just
raid a
to go as
closet.
you are. Yes. My mother has a closet. I will take you up to her room. As I say, does anyone want to drink before we start?
I'm good.
I'm fine.
Clue saying no to booze? Clue, are you feeling okay?
I mean, we're going to the theater. Like, it's just all the liquors you take in now, you have to always be out in the best part. Like, it's just the way that works.
Okay.
Okay, if you follow me upstairs, Mara. Leads
La, la,
Mara,
la, la,
Mara
la, la.
upstairs. That room there is my mother's old closet. I'm sure you can find something suitable to your taste.
Okie dokie.
The door is heavy and the room is dark. Have you like brought a candle, or do you have something with you, like to light a lantern in the room?
There's auto lighting gas lanterns in the house.
Ah, okay. So, ooh, very fancy. So those goes on. And what you see is a very well kept, beautifully decorated room in shades of blue, from sort of periwinkle to, like a dark night ebony, or not, like a dark night navy kind of blue. And with a little bit of looking around, you see that there are double doors there, Mara, where when you open it up, it's a walk-in closet. And in that, you can see that Belvar's mother has... Oh, sorry, what was that?
Nothing, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. I heard something in my headphones. When you walk in, Thelvar's mother has really preserved her wardrobe over time. So it's not just like, what was it fashionable, in her later years, but she still has stuff that you recognize as now being very cool and retro. Think of like 60s stuff that looked, like not quite, like the way that things can look kind of retro, but also, like still look really cool. And what she's done is she's ordered them starting at like the colors of the rainbow. So it goes, yellow, orange, red, what like Roy G. Biv. Yeah, blue, indigo, violet, and green. And then it goes in each one, like if it goes like to a darker color into a black, there's sort of like, like a really dark green. But then there's a section of just black and white together, because there's like, a lot of like black and white fancy dress things that she's attended over the years. So you can go for something quite colorful. You can go for something very classic. You can be standing out in a mix of black and white, or something other kind of trim. And there's also things from every era. So the way that fashion works in Waterdeep is that it's medieval, but almost like the city is kind of bordering a little bit on Victorian. So there are things with bustles as well, things that are also like a little more A-line and classic, and also things that are a little bit, like frillier and froofier as well. So you've got sort of sleek to ostentatious, things that you would wear, to a dinner party, and also things that you would wear to the horse racing, events as well in the city. So you've got, basically whatever you feel attracted to, whatever thing that you want to pull out. Do you want to think about like a couple colors and styles that...
I found the dress.
Okay, what does it look like?
It's green, and I'm gonna share it now if I can figure out how. And it's like the one dress in like the whole entire closet that like it doesn't make sense as to why Thelvar's mom even has it.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it borderlines risque almost, but it's like, it's the one thing that just, like, as Mara's, like, going through, War's kind of going, no, this is boring. Oh. where are we, France? Ew, no. And then she sees this one dress and goes, by Jove, we've got it.
Are you sharing it in the Twitter, or are you going to share it on screen, or where are you going to share it?
I'm trying to figure out how to share it on screen.
Okay, if you go into present now.
What? No, I want to share it in the how do I share it?
Like you can put a link in the chat in R20. But...
Oh yeah, you can. If you've got a hyperlink to it, you can just stick it in the chat.
That works too.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah. Don't judge me from where I got this from.
Like what, Adam and Eve or whatever that sex shop is called online.
Oh no.
Ann Summers. Okay.
No. Oh great. Now I have to find it again. I saved it to my desktop and now I can't find it.
Okay, there are also, you have an array of shoes, and all of the shoes are on like sub racks. So is Mara going to go for like a boot, or does the dress have the shoes as well? Okay,
the dress has the shoes as well. I give up. I will just share it with you guys here on Present Now. Window.
Yep.
Preview. Oh, there we go. What?
Should just take a second.
Phone does not have the permission to use screen recording on your computer. I hate you.
Screen recording? It's not screen recording. It's just present now for your entire screen, right?
Oh, I think it doesn't like that. No, later.
Okay, well then describe it. Theater of the mind.
I fixed it.
Oh, okay. Right.
There we go.
See if it comes through now.
It did it. There we go. That's the dress.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ooh.
I'll show this on. Ooh, wow. That is cool.
Okay.
That is super cool. Leave it on for a second because it's not big enough for me to see the shoes yet. I keep scrolling down. Oh, I see. Oh, yes. I see the leg. Ooh, my. Yeah, that's gonna like it's very tasteful, but when you want to like be a little bit on the smutty side, it's all there for you.
Yes, it is.
Cool.
Also, just so you know, I totally didn't Google Sailor Jupiter formal wear. I had like the second you were like pick an outfit. I was like, I know which outfit I want.
Right. Yeah.
I had that dress in mind. That was the dress.
Right. Well, when she walks out, Mara is like, she is wearing that. She's wearing the shit out of that dress. She is just like, yeah. Normally, because she's a bit more, aggressive and just vibrant and sort of not. I want to say earthy, but basically she. I don't want to say she scrubs up well because I don't like that phrase, but the transformation is like it's completely Mara, but it's a complete side of Mara that these guys the people haven't seen yet in the party. So yeah, they're a little like once we are hit by it, it's a little bit of whoa, wow, you look great. Yes, Belvar, what are you getting out of your closet?
If I can figure out how to share through here, if I possibly can.
Yeah. Just do the present now. Oh, or there. Okay.
And
it'll ask you for like a tab or your screen or whatever you wanna.
Yes, present now. A window.
Yep. Yeah. Another name for Jupiter. Yes, very true.
I'm
just wondering how Clue is going to complement his green tone.
I mean, I have magic. I don't need to be green anymore.
Take it off. You can like...
He's not green. Oh wait, yes he is. He's still green.
Yes, underneath.
He's like a pew-pew ready.
If you have a successful investigation check, you do notice that he can be dreaming.
Hopefully people will more be interested in what's happening on stage than, like trying to figure out if you're really wearing that or if it's just an illusion.
Hey, I'm the only one who can go in there fully armored. All I'm saying.
That's true.
Oh, Lord.
New Windows so I can share it because it's not letting me share just a tab.
Okay, yeah, you might have to do your entire screen then and just fill your screen with.
If you go to when you do present now, it should give you the option of a window or a tab.
It's only giving me the option of the 2 windows I have open.
That is weird.
Yeah, can you do your screen and then just put it on your screen?
I think I've got it now.
Okay. And
Let's start again.
yeah, by the way, I will be coming to Clue next. You don't have to find a picture. You can do theater of the mind. That's also acceptable.
I did not put that much effort into thinking of an outfit. I'll be completely honest.
And now it's telling me
I wanted to look pretty. I'm sorry.
I don't. Let's see. I don't think I have anyone. Like, it doesn't ask me to give permissions to anyone. Can you? Is there a hyperlink to it that you could put inside the chat and we can just open the window ourselves? I know Zoom says,
I'm gonna have to do it that way, which is really, really annoying.
Well, we'll get there in the end.
It's just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This outfit minus the mask and kind of coincidental.
Oh, wow.
That is coincidental.
Very, very sleek. Very sleek.
This is why I love you. You're the best.
And the sword is a sword cane, so
all right.
the cane is a sword cane, just in case.
Sure. Are you wearing Are you rocking the sunglasses too?
It's a mask, not sunglasses.
Oh, it's a mask.
Yeah.
Okay, got
It's
it.
the outfit minus the mask.
All right, got it. I was and the gloves. Very nice. Very dapper. All right. So Clue sees these two coming out, just like considering you were on a ship like less than 2 hours ago, and they had, they have sea salt. You guys all have sea salt in your hair. You cleaned it out and rest. But now, yeah, to go from that to top and tails. Is that the phrase I'm looking for?
Yes.
Yeah. Clue, what do you got? What's Clue's got?
I mean, he's just gonna use this guy's self to make him look not entirely green. For the rest, he's just going for like a tan suit with like red accent and like in gold the Senator logo embossed like on his shirt pocket.
Oof, excellent. Okay, well, you three are looking quite dapper, and it is just coming up to 7:00. So you have time, basically, to get to the theater and maybe even have a little look at the Great Drunkard, which I'll tell you about when you get to the area of town. While you are starting to leave the house and lock it up again, the driver had dismounted from the cart and said, if you have some extra blankets or things, if it starts to get cold at night by the time that the show ends, if you want, we can, grab some, if you have some things that you want to put in the cart just to kind of keep warm, we can keep them folded underneath my driver's seat as well.
Oh, yes, of course. If you follow me, I'll help you bring some out.
Excellent, yeah. So, yeah, he does. Follows you through the house. The other two, you guys can just sort of wait by the cart, and within a couple minutes, Thelvar and the driver, whose name I haven't given him a name yet, so don't ask me. I'll think of one. Sometimes it changes, but you're getting kind of a regular now. Who, sort of if whoever wants to sit, like if someone wants to sit up next to him, there he sort of like lays the blanket out to keep it from being any of the wood, make sure that your clothing doesn't get caught on anything, and also pad out the more, like basic area of the cart. Again, it makes it slightly softer and a little bit more comfortable. It's just nicer on your clothing. So, yes.
And executive decision, his name is James.
Okay. To the theater, James. All right, so James gives a little yeah, and starts the, almost a retirement pony that runs this course, heading down, looking to turn onto the high road to take you over to the market, because the theater light. I had it here a second ago. Oh, it's a different page. The Lightsinger Theater is right next to the Great Drunkard. All right, let's use this moment while you're traveling to cut back. Habara gets dropped off, and also with Gorko at Troll Skull Tavern, your ye old haunt. You get there, you can go into the front doors. You notice that when you walk in, that the downstairs has completely been transformed from when you guys first arrived, when it was dusty and had like all crap in it and, cobwebs and stuff. And it's really looking pretty chic now. The carpenters are very intensely focusing on one room at a time to get things done. And it looks like with, fresh coats of paint and whitewashing on the ceiling, polishing up. They even polished up the mirror when they were cleaning up as they left. It's really taken on a bit more of that gothic idea that you guys had in your minds.
Very nice, very nice. And you fellas are making mighty fast work of this. Oh, we should be ready to open very soon. Jolly good.
Wait,
Yeah, Hibara's here.
It's Habara. No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, it's just me.
Sorry, Rosie. Ignore me.
You're practicing your speech for when you see it later.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, where are we now?
The cart went back to the tavern. No, you're on your way to the theater. All right, yeah, Habara. Yeah. So that's what you see when you and Gorko walk in.
Okay. I mean, this is a bar. She's not impressed.
Yeah.
It's just more civilization. He ain't got time for that. Anyway, so she goes up to Jarvis.
Time for that.
Yeah, Jarvis is behind the bar, kind of doing some paperwork. Oh, hello. How was your day?
Fine. The cart thing. Can you get it back here while they're at their little play thing? I need to go somewhere.
Yes, I can. I've got a limited sending spell that I can use with the driver to call him, depending on who's on duty. And therefore, when James drops them off at the theater, presumably, there's definitely staying till the intermission at least. So you would have approximately, let's say, 90 minutes to 2 hours before they might need the cart again, unless they stay for the full show, in which case I think it finishes at 11:30. Well, but I mean, by the time they get out and everything, and all the traffic, they'd be picked up about then.
Then I guess they can probably have. Then I probably won't need the cart before then. All right.
Okay.
Come back later.
What time do you want the cart here for? I guess from the distance from the theater to the tavern is
About 4 hours from now.
Oh, all right. So for midnight.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can make those arrangements, no problem. Would you like anything for dinner or anything to take up to your room with you?
No.
All right, very good.
Just goes up to her room and she's going to take her long rest.
Okay.
Of course, preparing her good berries for tomorrow.
Very good.
Before that. And yeah, so she will be taking her long rest while they're at the movies, so to speak.
All right. Gorko then kind of toddles into says have a good rest, and goes off in the kitchen because he hears clattering. He kind of assumes that it's the Bobs in there because it's getting to be around dinner time, and they've just they've pretty much moved in to your place while all these renovations are going on, and you guys don't seem to mind. So like, yeah, so they're getting some dinner on. Jarvis and is finishing up paperwork before it's their nightly game of tic-tac-toe with Liff, who also you can't quite see Liff, but you sort of like feel a bit of a rush of wind, kind of going by you, not in a confrontational way, but just sort of like brushing up against you, like, hey, how you doing, kind of way, as well, just when you get in. And then you head upstairs, for your lovely garden area, and can do your long rest. Hey, going back to, so in the cart, you guys are bobbling along. I mean, the high road is, you're heading, let's see, you're going to be going up, probably whatever that Andarenar Street, past the hospice, and up through to Bar Street, where you get to the Great Drunkard. And you can see that there's a lot of traffic in this area because in the northwest corner, I think I can ping it, that's where the theater is. But Thelvar, you why don't you do me a history check, clue as well, in terms of how much each of you might know about the Great Drunkard. Okay.
I was gonna say, if I have to fight in this dress, I wasn't gonna be happy.
No. Clue knows that there's kind of like a fun little history to this statue, and Mara's probably never seen it because she's pretty new to the city, and it's a little bit out of the way. James offers, if you guys want, instead of going to the front of the theater, he can drop you around the back, and then there is a kind of like it's got two entrances to it. You can also get there from the back, and it goes past the Great Drunkard. Do you guys you've got about still 25 minutes until curtains up and you have your tickets, so it's just a matter of walking through the courtyard and momentarily stopping. James says, I think there's even a plaque there that kind of tells the history, and it's one of those things, they make souvenirs of this, and it's kind of a nice thing to do, a culture thing to do on your way to the theater.
I mean, Mara, do you want to see the Great Drunkard?
Was he a war hero, Ducky?
No.
Then no.
No.
I only care about them war heroes. If he wasn't a war hero, then who gives a bunk?
I mean, a lot of people.
Does anyone else want to go past the Great Drunkard? Or you guys just want to go to the front of the theater?
Thelvar will go and have a perusal.
Okay.
So Thelvar is literally just dragging us all there.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. So what was the point?
Yeah, and Clue, I can sort of say, over a century ago, there were these 8 behemoth statues that stood visible at the north foot of Mount Waterdeep on a bluff called Gull Leap. Over 90 feet tall, it resembled a bald human staring out to sea, and later events caused it to be transformed into a statue known today as Soggen the Humbled. But when the spell plague gripped Waterdeep in 1385 DR, 6 more walking statues suddenly appeared in the city, wandering to wreak havoc even as Soggen the Humbled remained motionless. The authorities and citizens of Waterdeep succeeded in stopping 3 of these statues, breaking the Swordsmaiden and the Hawkman, and sinking the Godcatcher into the streets up to the waist. Then, all the statues mysteriously stopped their rampage just as quickly as it had begun. Cisara Chahedrin, the black staff of the city at the time, couldn't command them to return to their former hiding place on the ethereal plane, and so as a consequence, the city just decided to repair them itself and build up around them. Much later, in 1479 DR, the A statue, the Griffin, emerged from the ethereal plane, to defend a tower against intrusion. And so one of these is the Great Drunkard that you can see as you walk to the back of the theater. This walking statue has stopped its rampage as it approached the market, then fell backwards and sat upon a building. When it settled, its arms fell limp at its sides and its head tilted forward onto its chest, giving the impression that it had fallen asleep. The statue's huge stone battle axe still stands nearby, its haft angled upright, its blade half buried in the cobbles. The rubble of the crushed building was long ago rebuilt into a broad stone stairs with railings and a ramp that drunkards are often rolled down, that ascend from the cobbles to the statue's lap, and that lap now holds a 2-story tavern, also built from the rubble, called Greylick's Tankard. The unconscious pose of the statue and the tavern in its lap made the name The Great Drunkard a natural fit. You see this massive statue that holds a 2-story tavern on your way into the theater. A little bit of Waterdeep.
I do hope no one decides to reanimate the statue at some point. It would cause a terrible commotion.
Yeah.
Mara walks up to it, rubs her hands together, and goes, "Oh, great statue! I wish I had magic." And just kind of like reaches and like just kind of does like a little like finger dance along like the statue, like pretending that she has magic, and being like, booga 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 booga. Booga 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 booga.
As people start walking to the theater, you see this very elegantly dressed, beautiful woman going, booga 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 at a big statue.
Well, it's nice to know no matter what you wear, you'll never be elegant.
Oi, Ducky! I am always elegant. I just am not always sane. There is a
Says the woman who just said oi.
Don't forget the ooga booga booga booga.
Oh, booga 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 booga.
So it's pitch black at this point. It's completely dark at night, except for the housing lights in the alley, like sort of like it's a little square that's around you. But the theater itself, from the front and the back, is completely lit up. You guys queue for a little bit as people are, the last stragglers like yourselves. It's about 7:45, and so this is sort of the final push of people who are running late or people who, went outside for a cheaper drink than they could get indoors or just wanted to have a conversation with some privacy, are all pushing to get in. So as you go through the double doors initially, there's a small flight of stairs, and then a second small flight of stairs, and then you have the back reception area. The carpet is all done in red, things are trimmed out in gold, and you can see when you look up a very high ceiling where there are magical lights that are glowing in chandelier forms high above you. Looking around, you see that the crowds are, as people are entering, they're sort of like going towards to ticket holders. Thelvar, do you have the tickets?
Yes, I do.
All right, so
I was going to say, and we forgot the tickets at the house.
Minor losing some tickets.
You pull out your full tickets, and they say on them, Horde of the Dragon Queen. And you pull out 3 of them. You don't need any more, and hand them to the ticket collector, who pulls off part of it and returns the sort of date, time, part of the stamp, the Horde of the Dragon Queen, little like, if you want to keep it or whatever. And then you guys move through that part into more of a reception waiting area, lobby, I guess is the word I'm looking for. You can see that people are starting to put away their drinks, and the crowds are thinning out. Even the people who are selling their programs are starting to put things away to try to stop people from spending any more time outside. And when you walk in, it's just it's an array of costumes, colors, some very sleek, others very frilly, people, nobody with ridiculous hats, because that wouldn't go down at the theater, but they certainly do a lot with like embroidery and putting things on dresses or on their lapels in order to stand out. And you join the back of the crowd. You can see that your tickets they're not the greatest tickets. They're certainly not box tickets like the invite that you get for the intermission. But you are in the mezzanine level to the left-hand side, And as you guys go down the stairs and take your seats, you can see that the Light Singer Theater is a very posh place. The seats aren't particularly like wide and spacious, but they have a very nice matching red plush cushion both on the back and on the seat area, rather than wooden backs and wooden seats that you might get at a less upscale theater. People also are unpacking their opera glasses, their magical opera glasses sometimes if they can afford them, and looking around the room, gossiping, looking more at who's in the box with whom, and who's sitting in the cheaper seats, who couldn't get the more expensive box seats and whatever. And as you settle in comfortably, you only have a few seconds to sort of take in the atmosphere when the theater lights go down. And you notice that there are two people who come to the side of the stage, and they seem to have almost like massive cue cards that they're holding. And someone else comes out to the front, spotlight shines on them. It's a half-elf who says, tonight's performance is going to be in Giant, but we have both Common and Elvish here, so that you can follow along with the words if you don't speak Giant. Does anybody speak Giant?
No.
Okay. So you kind of enjoy the sounds of the opera, but you're not going to be hearing like, we must find the dragon, 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 dragon. Like you're going to hear that, but it's going to be in Giant. But the people who have the cue cards, they're, very large size. You can see them from quite a distance. And it's a lot of like the same lines. I don't know if you've ever heard opera, but there's not a lot of dialogue for all the singing that goes on. So you settle into your seats. And the basic storyline is this. The cult of the dragon has been active in Faerun for centuries, focused on making undead dragons in fulfillment of a prophecy. There's sort of like a chorus person who comes out and sings as part of it. But its new leader, you learn through this exposition, Severin Silrisian, decides real power and draconic knowledge belongs to living dragons and not undead ones. And then Severin comes out and he sings about his longing for real knowledge and his rejection of the idea that the cult of the dragon has been doing the right thing. He must create a sect, he must break off and follow this pure knowledge. Then on the other side of the stage, the lights come up and someone dressed in a dragon costume, playing Tiamat, laments her time in prison in the 9 hells. And she then hears the songs of Severin and seduces him a little bit. She sort of like uses her influence beyond you. She's very powerful through the hells up to where he is, offering to guide him to secret knowledge, the existence of 5 dragon masks, 1 for each of the chromatic dragon colors. The Tiamat reveals to Severin that if someone wears a mask, she's sort of like trying to lure him in, with her offers here as they're sort of almost dancing on the stage. The Tiamat actor in a bright sort of red and black dragon outfit, and Severin dressed in very powerful, so like green and purple colors. But Tiamat reveals to Severin that if someone wears the mask, they can communicate with that colored dragon. And if the person is also erudite in draconic lore, they can become a worm speaker. They have the power to think like a dragon, gain favor with the dragons, and subtly influence the dragon's behavior. Tiamat urges Severin to gather all the masks and assemble them together, and if he does, she will be released from the 9 hells, and she will reward him with knowledge and riches beyond his wildest dreams. And then the curtain goes down, and there's a bit of applause, and the orchestra starts up again. In Act 2... Oh, see?
Amateurs needing masks to speak to dragons. That's an everyday event for us.
Yeah, it's quite. In the pauses, you guys do kind of lean over like amateurs. So in the next act, Severin is joined by allies from his cult of the dragon, and they splinter off with the Red Wizards of Thay, led by Wrath Modar, who is introduced and is sort of like booing in the theater at this point. Wrath wants to unseat the Lich This is Oz Sam. From his position as head of the Red Wizards, he sings, and Wrath believes that in exchange for his help, Tiamat will help him by giving him the power he needs to overthrow this Lich head of the Wizards. So at this point, Wrath and Severin kind of like start to sing a song about how they're going to work together to find and recover a red dragon mask, and Severin will become the first worm speaker in centuries. And then the curtain goes down, and it is intermission.
It's a pretty good opera. It's no tragedy of Maria and Draco, but it's enjoyable.
Not enough blood.
Well, it's intermission, so time for the resurrection of Kmir Smoothen.
Indeed.
Off you go, Delvar. Go schmooze.
I will. I'll have to see if I can spot our benefactors.
Of course, like Mara does what I do during intermission. Like, beautiful dress be damned, she props her feet up on the seat in front of her, slouches down, gets comfortable.
I'd reprimand you, but it wouldn't work anyway.
No one wouldn't.
All right, you remember from your note that it says that you're meant to meet Mirt at intermission, private box C.
Do we all have to go?
No, anyone, as many or few people can go to these faction things as you guys decide.
All right.
Are you going to come up with me, Clue?
I mean, I guess why not?
Okie dokie. I believe it's this way. Yeah, very clever, I know. I believe the boxes are up these stairs.
Yep, you head up to kind of like higher than the mezzanine area. There's the box area above that, the view down onto, with excellent views everywhere up to the stage. And you find your way to box C, which has the door closed.
I walk up to the door and I rap on it with the knob of my sword cane.
Ah, yeah. You hear a voice, yeah, come in.
I would, but the door appears to be locked.
All right. The door's closed. I don't know if it was, so you hear a rattle and you see a very large man. Think of like Santa Claus, but with more of like a ginger bicycle mustache and no beard. Sort of dressed in some kind of like foppery, theater foppery. But he's got kind of a rough look to him. Like he doesn't look, like he's not afraid of getting his hands, a bit dirty when he needs to. Like, oh yeah, sorry about that. Come in.
Greetings. Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you, Clue. Just like puts back the lockpick. yeah, good. Thelvar, right?
Indeed it is, yes.
Yeah, and you are
Clue.
Clue, good to meet you. I'm Mirt the Merciless, they call me. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a nickname, it's stuck. Have a seat here in the box. And you can see that here you've got sort of the same plush colors, but there are more places to sit. There's also a table with some fruits, cheese. There's a place where some white wine is chilling and glasses, and Mirt sits down in a very comfortable, like looking double chair, a very wide chair where it's loose, so he can either move it to sort of look at the theater stage, or he can move it around inside the box itself. Good to meet you. Yeah, good to meet you. Appreciate you coming by here today. So because he's Mirt the Merciless, he's going to be kind of from New York, is what I decided. So yeah, here's that you guys Renier never Ember. Yes, never winter.
Never remember.
Yes, never remember. You did him a good turn.
Yes, indeed we did. We're so fortunate that we managed to find him.
Yeah, well, you guys did some good work. I read about you in the paper today, and you guys were doing the thing with the earthquake, right?
Yes, indeed we were.
You guys are getting some good business. Well, anyway, this is kind of why we wanted to call you in. You see, the Harpers here in Waterdeep and in the other cities where we work, we like to keep an eye on the political dynamics of each of the regions. Our agenda here, our goals, what we find is best is to ensure that the fairness and equality. A lot of times by covert means, sometimes by not so covert means, but we try to make sure that the balance of power isn't ever so out of whack that one person becomes so powerful that they couldn't be, countered by reasonable legal means. Our aim here is that we act for the weak and the poor and the oppressed when they cannot. Now, we'd like you to do a job for us. It's a pretty easy job, but, it's one of those things you got vouched for by a guy we know, we like, but we have to build some trust up between us. So...
Quite understandable.
Yeah. And the way that we work is you're free to act on your own, but if you get yourself in trouble, you gotta get yourself out. We can provide you some resources, but it's not that, it's not like a real formal kind of thing. It's more like a bunch of people with common goals who come together, share information, and sometimes we can have a pretty big effect. I mean, maybe the Harpers had something to do with Neverember's dad not being the open masked lord because he was super corrupt and we think he was embezzling money. So this is what we'd like you to do, and if you can do this job all right and you want to join with us, well, then we'd be happy to have you. So our big concern is we're trying to learn a bit more about the cause of the current fighting between the Zents and the Xanathar Guild. It's been spilling out into the streets, as you know, and we want to know if there's a way that we can intervene to stop it. So, there's a dray horse, a draft horse, works in the city, pulls, it's a taxi, and it's actually a talking mare. Her name is Maxine. Need you to find her and find out if she's learned out any of more identities of any Zent operatives operating or working here in Waterdeep, and see if you can determine their whereabouts, maybe what they've been talking about.
A talking horse. Of course. Yes, we can manage to speak to this individual.
Yeah, I think, any place where, she doesn't have a say in where she works. Her owner doesn't know she talks. She's one of ours, she's like deep undercover.
Deep.
Of course.
So, you gotta go to taxi ranks. And, there's some good ones around the market, but honestly, like the Yawning Portal is a good place to go. There's a couple other places in the city you can, see taxi ranks for the horses away. Yeah, and if you do that, are successful, you come back with some information. Then, if you want to join the Harpers, we do ask you to make a little pledge, because your word is your bond. And so I'll just tell you now, you're gonna have to promise that no one should be powerless. I swear to help them. That was a little too southern. I swear I'm gonna help them. Too much power leads to corruption. I swear to stop them. And information is power. I swear to gather that power for good. If you think that those are things that you can commit to, and you want to commit to the Harpers, then we'd be happy to have you.
Oh, I certainly do. In fact, I am in the middle of trying to liberate a defensive.
What? Defenseless.
Look, words are hard sometimes. I get it.
Defenseless?
A defenseless, sentient mechanical who's being exploited by a faction I do not quite trust at the moment, and we're trying to find a way to liberate him. So, yes, your goals most definitely align with mine.
Well, that's what I like to hear. Before you leave, you want some wine, you want some cheese. This is great cheese. They got the stinky stuff. I love this stuff. I can only get it when I come to the theater. I have no idea how they get this in town. There's also some crackers here. Help yourselves. What can I offer you guys?
Oh, thank you. I will try some of the cheese and a glass of
Tell 'em
wine.
about the
Thank
bread.
you.
Tell them about the bread.
I plan to, don't worry. This cheese is mighty fine.
I know, right?
I know the makers of some bread that would go fabulously with this bread. I can give you their information if you wish.
Well, you find out where the cheese comes from, then I'm interested. And you put it on the bread, I'll eat it. I'll see how I think about the bread, but this cheese, I swear to God, I only come to the theater for this cheese.
Indeed,
Getting it
it's
bad Jackie
mighty fine
Mason at this
cheese.
point. All right, well. All right. So yeah, you guys have now that the work talk is over, you have a little bit of small talk. You talk a little bit about just downing glasses. That's okay. You can say that out loud. Clue's just downing glasses of wine while this conversation is just happening.
Let me get clues like, oh God, not the bread people again.
Always the bread.
It's always the bread.
Yeah, so you have some like small talk about the performance and whether or not Giant is a enjoyable language to listen to things sung in, but at some point the sort of like the lights flash, up and down. They go up and down 3 times, indicating that the second act is about to start. So Mirt's like, yeah, it was good to talk to you. You should get back to your seats. And he kind of opens the door and sort of shakes your hands on the way out. And he's like, waiter, can I get 2 more bottles of wine in here, please? I need 1 for the next 2 acts each. And he says, yeah, good to see ya. If you need to get me a message, you can send it to me over in my house is over in, it's a C ward. Mirt the Merciless, also sometimes known as the moneylender. But yeah, you send it over to me, I'll get it. Or you can come visit me. However you want to get me the information, your package.
Very well. I could give you a card, but I'm sure you know where we are at the moment, at our inn, which will be opening soon. We would love to see you there.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to come by. Yeah, you guys were the ones that were almost blown up, right?
Not quite, but yes, it was a bit close for comfort indeed.
Yeah. Well, I know where the explosion, I read about it in the paper, so if you're close to there, I can get there.
Yes, indeed we are. It's called the Old Haunt, the site of old Trollskull Manor.
All right. Have a good night.
And you.
So yeah, you guys actually have the choice. Do you want to stay for the second half, or do you want to dip out now that you've done your meeting? It's up to you.
If Thelvar would like to stay, I don't know about anyone else.
Luke doesn't mind staying, but like if Mara needs somebody to keep an eye on her while she leaves, he doesn't mind that either.
All right, so
Mara is an adult. She doesn't need anybody.
I'm not worried about Mara. I'm worried about the people who run into her.
All right, so Mara's now having to take her feet down because people are starting to shuffle past you to get back to their seats after they had their intermission break.
And every single person is getting like the 1,000-yard glare to go in. You're just like, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Pox upon your families. Hate you all.
The lights start to actually like go down as Clue and Thelvar return from they like chatting with Mirt up there for quite a long time, and they're like, "Just move down. I don't want to go past you. Just move down. We'll sit on the edge." So they like make you because you were sort of like taking up this space in the middle. Like, I like this space, and they're like, "Nah, I don't want to walk around you." All right, so yes, as you're settling in, the lights go down. this is a little all right. So, in the next act, you get introduced to the heroes of the piece. For the first time, somebody appears on stage. There's like a group of four of them: Tanis, Flint, Kitiara, and Lorana.
What?
Walk onto stage.
What nonsense is this?
And start singing about how they have defended a town that has come under attack by a dragon and its allies, but they managed to save the town, but they failed to save a very important scholar, and they sort of like are both doing this sort of like, it's great that we saved the town, but we didn't save the scholar, and they they learn from talking to the people, come up and say, thank you for saving us for the cult of the dragon, and they ask, what is the cult of the dragon? And there's a whole sort of like mini exposition thing for people in case they fell asleep in the first part. I kind of did a little wrap up again. And they are then brought to the Council of Waterdeep, which is really just one person playing the open lord and asking them to go to a subterranean dragon hatchery that is guarded by the cult. And so then the party has a song about traveling north and facing the threats from the cult, facing the weather, facing the fear of facing dragons. And they arrive to the location right in front of the hatchery. And then you see coming onto stage a whole bunch of black-robed, not black-robed, but dark-robed or clothed figures with the Zent symbol on them. And there, party meets the Zentarum, who are also on a mission to go to the hatchery, and they decide to form an alliance. And they have a whole song about how, we in Waterdeep we're enemies, but here we are allies, and we're going to work together to stop the cult of the dragon. So that ends that act, and then in the last part, you see, takes them to a portal beneath the cult of the dragon's stronghold. And from there, they enter the castle in the clouds, where the cult is hiding. Our heroes meet Rath Modar, and they have a whole song that's actually a fight. But in the course of it, Rath Modar is almost defeated, and he turns invisible, which is actually like a really cool part of the opera, because they actually like cast invisibility from off stage, because the guy playing Rath Modar is not at all magical. And then they cast fly on him, and he levitates up on the stage. You can see, if you notice it, there's sort of like people there with like hooks and nets in case like you were to start drifting into the audience. But in this particular performance, they don't need that. He just kind of disappears, and our heroes go into the main vault, where they meet an adult white dragon, and they have a fight. But during the course of the fight, they crash the castle in the clouds, where they've taken the eggs that they got from the hatchery. I think I missed that part, but they went to the hatchery, they got all the eggs, they brought them on the sky thing, and there's a whole tragic thing where the whole group comes out, everybody from before, and they start to sing about dying a hero's death, but they've at least come this far and are achieving like a protection for Faerun. The song of inspiration to the heroes of the future, who will pick up their task and prevent the rise of Tiamat by Severin and Wrath. Then the lights go down, and the baddies come out, and they get their round of applause, and the dragon person who played the dragon gets their round of applause, and then our four heroes come out alongside some of the other side characters, and everybody lines up and they take their bows, and then the lights come up, and there's the usual murmuring of the crowds, and you've just finished watching the giant language version of The Horde of the Dragon Queen.
Bravo, bravo, polite clap.
Still not enough blood.
Indeed, and the party makeup was all wrong. I mean, a ranger, a knight, and two fighters. They could have used a halfling kleptomaniac rogue and a barbarian cleric, and they would have done much better.
7.8 out of 10, not enough blood.
I'm sorry, you throw a reference in, I'll add to that reference.
Yep.
Also, dragons aren't terrible people. I feel so bad for the poor dragons. Also, I like how I just humified the dragons. Humified? What is humified?
Don't forget, chromatic dragons are assholes.
That is
You're
true.
an asshole.
So yeah,
It was a green dragon that drove Daby out of her home, now wasn't it?
Well, we haven't talked to the
Yep.
dragon yet. Maybe
It's
the
really-
dragon has like a thorn in its paw, and we just have to remove it.
No, it's a green dragon. It's just an asshole. It's how they work.
I'm glad
We
you.
don't know.
I'm glad people enjoyed my Dragonlance reference there. As.
I'm telling you, it's probably just a cranky dragon.
Yeah,
Just
so
needs a good cuddle.
if you guys wait for a little bit, initially people are filing filing out of the theater, and because you were on the left hand side up closer to the front of the mezzanine, there's a kind of a long wait. So is there anything before you head back to find your cart behind the Great Drunkard that you guys want to do while you're here, or just don't want to?
Mark
railroad you?
tries really hard not to yell fire in an open theater.
Good idea.
I try it's like the one thing I really want to do every single time I go to the theater, and I go to the theater a lot.
A lot of restraining from your putting will on yourself.
On a regular basis. Like, you can ask R&D how many times I've looked at him while we were in a theater and going, how much trouble do you think I'm going to be in if I yell like fire, or I just moo.
Free speech only goes so far. I mean, we tell the fucking reactionaries that enough.
Yeah.
I know. Trust me, there's a particular level of like chaotic, like I'm well aware that I have a tiny touch of like chaotic evil in me, so it's just like
I get those moments too. It mostly comes when someone is coming up on a bike and I just think, oh man, if I just stuck my fist out and then clotheslined them.
I have the thought of what would happen if I opened my car door?
Yeah, yeah. And it's not like I would even do it. It was just I kind of think about the physics of it, they wouldn't be
Right.
expecting that.
No.
Because they expect people to be rational actors who resist those impulses. Not even meant to any hurt them. It's just I would like to see it. What would happen?
And
Anyway.
it's also me thinking about it with motorcyclists.
Yeah, well, they have helmets on, so that's also lots of cyclists here have helmets.
Yeah, but it's also me thinking about it on the freeway. So it's just
But they don't buzz in between the cars, or do they do that where you
They
are?
do.
Oh,
They
okay.
do.
They do that in the UK all the time, and I'm not used to it.
it's just I want to kill you.
Oh, you're so jealous. You're like, oh my god, traffic means nothing to you.
Yeah, that's normally the thought where it's just if I hit you with my car, how much will this hurt my car?
All
This
right.
is why I'm kinnying War, because she's who I wish I could be.
So as you have this conversation about the ethics of shouting in a crowded theater, you walk out into the night. It takes you a little while. There's a lot of carts and horses and a lot of just people bustling around, and now there's people hawking knockoff Horde of the Dragon t-shirts, and it's just it takes you guys a while to find James, but find him and your cart you do, and you trundle off. Giddy ups, heading you back to the tavern, or where am I dropping you?
James, to the tavern.
All right, yes. So it's about rolling right up about midnight when you guys get back to Troll Skull Alley.
Yeah. Salvar waffling all the way home to his companions, who probably aren't listening, was a very interesting opera. It just sure was interesting to hear it in Giant. It's a much more harsher language than the traditional Elven, but it did lack a strong aria. The tragedy of Maria and Draco had a really strong aria. The aria di mezzo carretera. It's such a classic. Oh, my hero, so far away now. Oh, the memories, the memories.
As you're singing in the cart, some people on the street go, "Yay!" They just sort of cheer you a little bit as you belt out a few notes.
Mara's, of course, just
drunk
sitting there
hour.
laughing, going, Giant has nothing on German or Russian. Now, those were harsh languages. You say, I love you. And either
Have
one
you
of those
heard
is-
Infernal?
Yeah, basically, I'm equating Giant to be German and Elven to be Italian.
I can totally see that. That's
Yep.
I'm sorry to anybody who I do love German though. German is such a beautiful language, but it's one of those languages you hear and you're just like, what did you say about my mother? Nothing.
Ich kenne deine Mutter sehen.
Exactly. But it's such a beautiful language. I love it so much.
You guys are having, yes, a discussion of the benefits and drawbacks of various dialects and languages as
Of
performed
course,
as
no
opera.
one knows what Mara is talking about because German and Russian don't
Yes.
exist in this,
Yeah,
this reality.
they just figure this is some local dialect from where you grew up, you know.
Again, it's like, Mara, what the fuck are you talking about? It's just she's just like, oh. Now they knew how to create. Also, they had blood, so much blood. Oh, I miss them. I miss them so much.
The tavern has a lantern on, and like one light in the front window, so that when you guys come in, it's not completely dark. But the first level is entirely quiet when you come into the tavern. You do see Lif, who comes by, kind of like offering, tugging at your like blankets that you sort of wore in because it was a bit cold, or like offering to hang them up for you or whatever. Is there anything you want from Lif before you guys head upstairs?
Evening. A nightcap would be awesome.
Actually,
okay.
do you guys have reserve clothes in the tavern?
Yeah, you guys
Or-
have rooms. Yeah, you have rooms there, and with chests and kind of cupboards. So if they have packed closed, either that or you might have just like put them in a package and had them under the driver's seat alongside some of the blankets when you came out. Whatever you guys want. I mean, I can
I
retcon
had
that.
clothes, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Hibara, you hear the noise of people, coming into the front door and
I was
having
about to ask.
some conversation. Yep.
Did she finish her long rest before they got there? Because if she did, she'd be downstairs waiting
Okay.
for them.
Oh, okay. I think by the time, because they were getting there about 8 o'clock and you need 4 hours,
Yeah.
you were just wrapping up. Like, you were just thinking about getting up and going downstairs when you hear them.
Okay.
So, yeah, the perfect timing is they're coming in, you're like, oh, I'm done. Ding!
Perfect.
Mara sees Hibara come down. She's like, "Look, Hibara, I'm pretty. I'm so pretty." And she does a spin and just is goes from being I'm going to kill all the things to I'm a pretty, pretty princess.
And she looks fabulous in the dress.
Hibara just wears just a simple A-line cut, just like a sundress. Just a simple, just a skiff. Nothing fancy. So she just kind of looks at Mara and is like, okay, if you say so.
Don't mind Mara. She's just in a very jovial mood. Tish.
Jovial from Jove. Okay. Yeah,
Mara looks at Thelvar. I'm taking the dress, and she runs upstairs.
At least someone will get a use out of it.
you hear the sound of liquid being poured, and you can see that Lif has poured 4 shots. If anybody wants them. Otherwise, you can always put them back in the bottle. But yes, they're waiting on the bar.
Rosy tequila. Very nice, Liv. Good choice. Tastes like strawberry milk, don't you know?
I'm glad Mara went upstairs. Ugh.
There's also a note from Jarvis that's on the counter that is just a note saying that they'd gone over to the bookshop and picked up a box of paper birds from the petty cache, and that they are underneath behind the bar in the main drawer.
Oh, very good, very good.
Yes. Oh, and also next to the receipt, there's a flyer for a discount. Like the Bookworms is having a 10% off spells and potion. And Jarvis adds a note. P.S. Gorko saw the thing about the sale. I think he wants a new spell.
I could do with picking up some spells myself. I may take Gorko there tomorrow.
Yes, and you notice that the carriage is still set outside the tavern, even though you guys have kind of come in and settled yourself in.
You going somewhere, Jarvis?
Oh, Jarvis is good for the night.
Good.
They head out, but James is just sort of still outdoors. And you can, like, if you look out the window, you can see that he's still parked in front of the tavern.
Oh, good. And Mara leaves. Just walks out.
Hi.
Take care, Hibara.
Yeah, so the moon is full in the sky as James sort of gives you a nod. Do you want to climb up on the seat? He's sort of got a bench, that's like the length of the wagon. You can either sit up front or you can hop in the back, where there's blankets both now. You can see that there have been blankets added both to the seats and to the back of the cart.
She'll sit up front this time.
All right. So you hop up using the footstep, and sort of James gives you a nod.
I need you to go to the north gate, like that one time before. Also, I need you to wait there until I come back.
Okay. Do you want to? Are you on the main city map with me? Yeah. Do you want to ping me? You want to ping the map where you want him to go? I'm not sure what you mean by the north gate, so I want to try to get there.
The north gate.
The very top by the field board. Okay, yep, that's fine. I was like I zoomed in on Troll Skull, so he gives a little giddy up, and the horse starts plodding its way, down the street to meet up with the high road, and sort of takes you. At this point, by the time you reach the city walls, it's pretty quiet. There's not a lot of usually travelers, who are traveling at this time of night. Normally they start at 4 or 5 in the morning with the morning deliveries, and so there are 2 guards at the gate. You pull up and they kind of look you over, and they just looked in the cart. There's really nothing in there. They see that's suspicious, and so they figure you're just maybe going outside for a lover's rendezvous, and they just kind of shrug and open up the doors and let you through. So then you get into the field ward. That's there's a little more it's a bit quieter than the city. The houses are all dark, and you come into the north yard to the main gates. So at this point, there are guards walking up and down, but there's not as much security there right now as to the Waterdeep part, of the city from the field ward. So James stops at the north gate.
She hops out and says, "Remember, wait for me. Also, make sure they let me back in."
Okay.
So she just walks out onto the high road, and when she's past the north gate, she will cast. She will first cast Longstrider on herself.
Okay.
And then Guiding Hand. So a little spectral hand appears in front of her, and the place she has targeted is the Bread People's house in the Undercliff.
Okay. So you want to describe a bit about your travels? I mean, unless you want to roll a random encounter, but...
No, because she's also wild shaping into a deer.
Oh, all right.
So now she's got 60 movement.
Okay.
So she should be able to like beeline directly for their house, just cut through, just directly from the gate to their house, ignoring the roads and everything.
Yeah, you can. The fastest is to just sort of, well, just stay away from the bows of the city watch. But this, the moon is bright, but chances are they're not going to try to, shoot any for venison. Yeah, you can make
with a random glowing hand in front of it.
They might be a little bit freaked out by that, but then again, it's water deep. Yeah, you come down. It's mostly gently rolling fields. There's not much going on at night. You're staying away from the roads. You occasionally, bump into, some other nocturnal animals, but mostly it's a fairly direct and uneventful trip down to Undercliff. It's probably going to take you, let's say the same thing as a horse. I think it took you guys like 45 minutes or something heading over to Undercliff. And you arrive.
Yeah, but we went out the river gate, not the north gate. But
Oh, that's true. Yeah, so let's say call it an hour.
Perfect. So she gets to the bread people's house, right?
Yeah, all the lights are out, and you hear a very loud snoring coming from the barn.
Perfect. She's undeering herself.
Okay.
And going straight to that barn.
Okay. When you do, are you trying to be stealthy? Do you want to roll stealth? No. Okay. Yeah, when you push the door open, it makes a kind of a squeaky noise. Not a massive one, but you see that Daby is curled up with her back to you in a big sort of pile of hay that she's kind of built up for herself, and kind of like a bit of a kind of like a bed nest. And she lifts her big dragony head and looks over her shoulder to see you come in, and when she recognizes you, she turns her body very sleepily and looks at you and says, "Hello."
I have good news, Daby. Well, I don't know. Do you like it here?
It's a little cramped here. I mean, I like the people. They're very nice here. But in all honesty, I think I'm causing some problem. I've been told I can't. There are certain kinds of animals that I can eat and other ones I'm not supposed to eat.
That's kind of dumb. But
well, when I'm hungry, I know, but they get really upset if I eat their cows.
Yeah, people.
So I've had a couple wolves for dinner, and that's been okay.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been able to figure out a place for you to go that you won't have to deal with any of that anymore.
Oh, that sounds good. Where am I going? I'm sorry, common's still a little bit harder. I'm getting better on my S's.
That's
we don't
fine.
have this in Draconic.
I can't speak Draconic.
So
and
where
then she
am I
says
going?
in Primordial, I can speak Primordial. Can you do that?
I don't know if she can. I'd have to look it up. So I'll say no. She's too much of a baby because I don't want to dig around for dragon stats right now. But someday my mom is teaching me, but I only know a couple words. So where am I going?
Well, how would you feel about hanging out with a gold dragon?
Bronze
dragon.
I was like, wait, I thought we were talking to a bronze dragon. What happened?
That sounds okay. They're okay. They're pretty nice. They're not mean like the chromatics.
Yes, we've met one that would be more than happy to look out for you. He's got lots of places that you could hide and hunt and all the other dragon stuff that you do.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Where is it?
And you don't have to worry about people. It's right outside of town. We'll take you there.
I don't mind the people. The people seem to mind me.
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you mean.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We're going now? What about Ethel and...
No, not now.
Okay.
Because there's something that I would like you to do. We'll take you there probably, I don't know, maybe tomorrow, or I guess today, maybe the next day. I'll come get you when we're ready.
Okay.
Because also, I want to do this. And she tells Daby her plan.
Do you
Oh,
want to
God.
write it to me in Twitter, or are you gonna? How do you want to do this? Or are you happy for the party to know and metagame it?
Hold on.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Somebody's gonna die.
Yeah, I don't like this at all.
Oh, okay. Okay. I see where you're going. Okay.
Well, we're all gonna die. That's what's gonna happen.
Daby's like, well, I have to check. I have to make sure she can fly. See if she's got the capacity to do these things. But
Has she been flying?
yeah, she has.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's like, that's a if that's what you want. You guys have been super nice to me, so yeah, that seems like, not I can handle that. It doesn't seem. I mean, it's a little bit weird and random, but that's I can handle that.
Perfect.
Weird and
Also,
random.
I've noticed you've gotten a little bit bigger.
I have. I'm a big girl.
So I was
Aw.
wondering, what have you been doing with any of the scales you've gotten rid of?
Oh,
You've molted.
so, she's she kind of like digs through her bed, and she said, my mom used to tell me that the dragon fairy would come and collect them, and they used to give me little treats, but I don't think he knows where I am now, because the dragon fairy hasn't come to collect any of these. And she's got like there's about like a half a dozen scales there.
Call me Tinkerbell.
I know, right?
Well, I don't know about the dragon fairy, but if you give me those, I can definitely get you something in exchange.
Okay. You can be my new dragon fairy.
I can be your new dragon fairy. Yes.
Stop.
So tell
trying to
me,
interrupt my baby girl.
so tell me, what
Don't
would
like
you
this.
like?
Well, I always like shiny things.
Something
So
shiny?
yeah, like I'm not quite old enough to start building my own hoard yet, because I'm more suited to, I like warmer climates, and it's pretty cold. I like things that are dry, but someday I want to like a starter kit, like a hoard starter kit.
Okay.
Like something to get me going.
Okay. I'm sure I can do that.
Oh my god. Oh, this isn't fair.
I can't tell if you guys really like or really hate the idea of the hoard starter kit. I can't tell from your reactions.
This is like, my heart is exploding with all of the cuteness. Oh my. I'm dying over here. I'm so happy.
I can definitely get you something like that.
Okay.
And it's so not fair that Habar is the one who's getting to do it. I'm so mad.
So just holding out her hands for the scales.
So Daby sort of uses her, wing joint to sort of lift up the hay, so and sort of like invites you over, and kind of holds it up because it's a couple bales, she's hidden it under, so you can
Okay.
go collect them.
Yep, she scoops them. How much did you say there were?
Like half a dozen. Like 4 of them are like pretty good condition, and 2 of them are slightly damaged, like from when they she sort of like inadvertently scratched them off, or kind of like.
Oh no,
All right.
maybe Dragon ripped them out. Oh, baby.
All right, she puts them in a bag and turns back to Daby and goes, perfect. I will be right back when we are ready to introduce you to your new dragon friend. We'll
Okay.
show you all the other stuff that he has planned.
Should I tell
Or that you can
Ethel
do.
and Ethan and Ethel that I'm going to be leaving?
I mean, if you want.
Okay, they've been pretty nice to me, so I want to, they ask me, like, they do spend time telling me stories about humans and fights and elves and dwarves and all kinds of things about Faerun, so they've been really kind to me.
Well, I mean, you can always just fly right back here. It's not that far.
But I have to go all the way around Waterdeep. That's a long way. It's not so long. But I can't go anywhere over the city.
I guess.
No, I
I
can't.
mean, you can always come back and visit them if you ever miss them.
Oh, I see. Or maybe they can come and visit me. My new...
I don't know about that,
Okay, all right.
but maybe.
So blasé.
All right, so I'll see you in like a day or 2 days or 3 days or when you get around to it.
Sometime soon.
So 3 days, 4 days, 5 days?
Maybe later today. Depends on what the other people want to do. I don't know.
Okay.
You know them.
Yeah. I'm happy here, but it'll be good to go somewhere else. All right, thanks you for stopping by.
Of course. And she leaves the way she came.
Okay.
No raiding Thelvar's place for shinies.
You say that.
The cat comes back.
Yes, and so yeah, you how close do you get? So as you approach where James is waiting, so at this point it's kind of like getting on 3 a.m, let's say. By the time you kind of like at midnight, half hour to the city gate, 45 minutes there, conversation, catch up, whatever, and back. So let's call it 3 o'clock. He's laid out in the back of the cart with all of the blankets. Like cocooned up, fast asleep. So he's still there, but he's asleep.
Okay. She has no problem just entering the city, right?
No, not right
Okay.
now. And they're not on high alert or anything. And they kind of also, it's the same guards. They've got like the shift till 6 a.m, so they're gonna just kind of figure you guys out when you made the cart bounce and then came back.
Okay. Yeah, and then she just comes in and pokes him awake. Says, it's all right, time to go back.
Need the cart bounce. Oh, God.
And sort of clambers over into the driver's seat. The horse is, sleeping, so wakes up the horse and turns the cart around, and starts heading back into the city. Waves at the guards. They come by again, just make sure, they see that all the blankets have been mussed up. Like, but they don't see any contraband or anything. So, they kind of like, wave you through and you get back to the North Ward. It's probably getting about, not quite 4 o'clock in the morning when James drops you off at the front of the Troll Skull Tavern, or, the Yield on Haunt.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's gonna go home because it's been a long day.
Yeah.
He deserves a break.
He's been up since 6 o'clock. He got up earlier to pick you guys up, and he's basically like getting to home about the same time he left yesterday, but a day later.
And doesn't he have to come pick us up again?
Well, I don't know what you guys are
No.
gonna have to decide what you're gonna do the next day. So
I mean, nobody at the very least don't need to go with the tongue sweepers anymore, so we can at least slip in.
that's true.
Everyone should be asleep right now, right?
Correct.
Yes.
They are. The place is dark as well. I don't know unless one of you left the lamp on for Hibara.
Nope.
Probably.
Well, I mean, there's Liv. Not
Yes,
that
but
she
he-
doesn't have dark vision.
Right.
so-
Yeah. And he can see in the dark too, so he doesn't need it. Yeah, the tavern is entirely dark when you get back.
All right, then she's just going to take a short rest while everyone else wakes up and all whatnot, and take a little 2-hour short nap.
Okay. Cool. I need. Yeah. Go ahead.
And I vote that the guards for the North Gate that keep letting Habara out are Corporal Nobbs and Sergeant Colon.
I love it. I'm here for it.
All right, I am going to need a break just for a couple of minutes. So if we can do like 5 minutes and then come back, is that all right?
Sure.
All right.
All right. BRB. Refresh my water. Get a snack.
Same here.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a drink too.
I'm glad at least someone got that reference.
Kristi keeps on saying like the light on, and for some odd reason, I keep on like wanting to sing songs, and I'm like, why? Where are these songs coming from? And then I'm like, oh, they're coming from Rocky Horror. What the hell is wrong with my brain?
Yeah, Rocky Horror, a classic. Shame it's written by a transphobe.
Yeah, that's separating the art from the artist.
Aye.
That's what I have to do with Harry Potter.
Mhm. And Monty Python.
Really? I
Yeah,
don't think I knew that about I didn't think I knew that about Monty Python.
John Cleese, he's currently going on transphobic rants, has proudly put his name on Rowling's petition and identifies as a Cuban police woman.
What?
Mhm.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
Lord. I found out that my cousin is a Trumper and a COVID denier. Yeah. And like is getting blatantly more brazen about what she's posting on social media. And I'm like, she is so very lucky that I'm like one of those people that doesn't post politically on like Facebook or Instagram, or I don't respond to political stuff on Facebook or Instagram. Because
Who is
I'm
that?
like my cousin.
Ah.
Because like I have a couple of cousins who are conservative because it is what it is. It's just it's the nature of the beast. And I'm like, you know what? I love you, your family, whatever. So I'm like, you know what? I just don't comment. I'll read what you have to say and be done with it. But she posted something about a couple of the court cases that Giuliani was active in, I think, in Georgia earlier this week. And then people were like, there's no evidence for anything.
If you
And
said
then-
Giuliani and no evidence, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Just
And-
wait until they get Chavez's ghost on the stand. That's when the all breaks open.
And then she started like one of the things she posted was quarantine is for sick people and lockdown of healthy people is tyranny. And I'm like, well, if y'all had worn your masks, we
Mhm.
wouldn't be locking down healthy people.
Mhm.
But y'all can't be responsible, so we're all locked down again.
Yeah.
And then she posted something about COVID being a hoax.
God.
And then posted something about how lockdown is not healthy like mentally, like, and even had like the Sanjay Gupta stuff. And I'm like, yes, it like they are showing that it has like it's bad for mental health and all this stuff. But if you dove a little deeper, every single one of those people is also saying if you wore your goddamn masks, we wouldn't have to be in lockdown.
I mean,
And
dying is bad for mental health too.
Mhm.
Exactly. And like they're all like all of them are talking about like herd immunity, and it's just like, oh my god, do you have any idea how many people would have to die for us to reach herd immunity?
Mhm.
Well, for herd immunity, you first need a working vaccine,
Yeah.
which we're
Well,
close to, but not quite there yet.
Well, no, this is even before like
Mhm.
vaccines. Like if everybody caught it, kind of deal. And I'm like, oh my god, like that doesn't even work. And I'm like, and then like she then like today posted something about like all of the masks and gloves that are ending up in the garbage and then in the ocean. And I'm like, yeah, that's because we are an irresponsible species and we don't know how to dispose of stuff properly.
Yep.
I'm just like, ugh, ugh. I'm like,
But yes,
this is my cousin.
Yeah, so many problems. Getting COVID-19 doesn't necessarily make you immune to COVID-19 because there are people who have been reinfected. Plus, it's been proven that long COVID does severe damage to your lungs. Yeah, not good. But at least your relatives have consistent bloody views. Unlike my mother, a lifelong Lib Dem voter who stopped voting Lib Dem because they went into coalition with the Conservatives in 2010, but voted Brexit, but think Donald Trump's an idiot, but reads the Mail and the Sun. And
My head is whipping around.
And thinks COVID-19 is no worse than the flu.
She is all over the place.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling okay. God. I mean, like, I like when it's like this cousin, I think is the only person on this particular side of the family that thinks this way. Like, I have cousins that are libertarians that are like conservative, but like conservative light. Like they're not like, or they're fiscal conservative, but Democrat, like liberal.
So actual libertarians.
Exactly. Like they're like if like if any one of them actually told me that they voted for Trump, like I could be like, really? Like I could out myself and be okay with it, kind of deal, and they'd be like, "Oh shit," or they look at me and go, "Yeah, we're ashamed of ourselves." But I have like this one relative. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Like she posted like pictures of her and her kids doing Halloween. No one was wearing masks.
Oh man,
they did Halloween, and I'm like, I don't understand. Why? I'm like, no, like, just buy your kids candy.
Right.
just get the sort pack.
Right.
Okay, should we segue then back to a world without COVID in our minds?
I do have really good news though.
Okay.
Outside of COVID, I got a new job.
Oh, hey, congrats!
Oh, that's good.
When do you start?
The 7th. So it's a permanent job. It's not a contract.
Nice.
And I'm gonna have benefits and so excited.
Congrats! Congratulations! Woo woo!
Yep.
A little party. Yay!
Yep. I'm super excited, and I think I actually have to go into work, so the dogs are gonna probably lose their goddamn minds.
Yes, they do not want this to end. They're like, "Can you stay home forever?"
Yeah. So yesterday was their first like me kind of ignoring them for like 8+ hours, and Regulus was not happy.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be another adjustment period. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, all of you either resting or in your beds. You don't have to get up so early in the morning. Gorko is also going to get up sort of again with the Bobs, and instead of bringing you coffee this time, he's just going to leave you guys alone. So let you sleep in and just drink coffee with the Bobs, because he's getting he's becoming a little bit of a barista. You know, like they're really kind of passing on their coffee chops to him and getting him to try different roasts of different types of beans. So yeah, they're in the kitchen. You can kind of hear him. It's a soft kind of clattering noise, but nothing that, you know, if it wakes you up, it's easily, you know, if you just kind of like put a pillow over your head, you can block it out. So what do people want to do with their morning?
Well, Thelva's having a dream at the moment. It's more of a nightmare. and is tossing and turning in his sleep. No, no. You're wrong. Spell plague's not just like the flu, and it wasn't a character conspiracy. What a terrible dream. Oh, I need to go down and get myself a drink.
All right. Yeah, you kind of walk down the stairs. They still have even though the carpenters have done a lot of work to getting them into that kind of goth feel, they still have like that homey sort of creaking noise to them, so that it's not you're not entirely like they haven't replaced everything. Kind of kept some of the character. And walk down to the bar area where the kitchen is. I guess I can swap. I can give you guys now. We don't need the city map. Give you your renovated tavern map. Go. Get a sense of that. You see that there is a newspaper. It must have been one of the Bobs who'd been out this morning already. Got a copy of the Daily Trumpet, which is sitting on the counter. And you see that Troll Skull Alley is in one of the headlines, and is in the front page headline.
Interesting. Out of character.
What's interesting?
Like Bara pops out of nowhere.
She's been down there, remember? I do just kind of realize that.
Oh, I didn't know where you took your nap, your rest.
Yeah, no, she just took the rest downstairs.
Oh, okay, all right.
So I just realized she was sitting in like a chair, quietly in the dark.
Yes.
Bara, good morning. Did you sleep down here?
I don't really sleep.
Right. Did you rest down here then?
Yeah, I chilled down here for a little bit. What's interesting? You said something was interesting on that paper.
Oh, we're featured in the paper again.
What did you do?
You should know you were there.
So I will say, if you want to know what that article is, I have prepped an article, like some text for you, if you want to pick it up and.
Yes, please.
Okay. Clue, are you you coming downstairs too around this same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's kind of annoyed that he got used to waking up early, so he's been like staring at the ceiling for a bit before coming down.
Mara's coming down and she's just kind of like singing like some random Disney song.
Is she still in her dress?
She is still in the fucking dress. Of course she's still in the dress. She's a pretty princess right now, and war is no longer like taking over her brain, so she's getting to enjoy the pretty princess aspect of this whole kit and caboodle. So she's just like la 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 la.
So yes, as you sort of gather around the bar area, which kind of is sort of like doubles as almost like a coffee bar area. You can sort of sit there and drink your coffee or drink your beer. And Thelvar will read the Daily Trumpet article. It says, city guards are still investigating the explosion in Troll Skull Alley. Now looking for Erstil Flaxen, and there's a composite sketch that you actually see of Erstil Flaxen in the paper that's actually with the article. For questioning in connection with the blast. City residents are encouraged to report sightings of Flaxen to the local watch, but are admonished or reminded that Flaxen should not be approached. The City Watch consider him to be dangerous and possibly connected with the Zentarim. In addition, any sightings of a gold-colored automaton, and then there's sort of like based on what the woman coming out of the detective agency described, the gold-colored man and his dress. There's a composite sketch of that also in this article. Any sightings of a gold-colored automaton is suspected of murdering 9 people, should also be reported. See also obituaries, page 18. So that's kind of the top of the fold. And the Daily Trumpet's got news, but then it's also kind of got like, sometimes you're not quite sure if it's really news or if it's crap. And when Thelvar, when you kind of like stretch the paper out to get a better picture or a better view, I should say, of the composite sketches. There's another headline. So that one was like, guards still investigating explosion. And then underneath that, there's like, mystery altar under Waterdeep? ? And this one says, the city continues to request residents stay away from the fissure that was opened up by the earthquake last week. Rumors abound that a temple to a powerful god, goddess, or perhaps a force has been discovered underneath, and that specialist gnomes from the House of Inspired Hands have been brought in to consult on the strange mechanical gearbox deep underground. And then there's like a ? Like mystery. Yeah, so that's what's in the morning paper.
Mhm.
Isn't she lovely?
Flocks.
Well, Thelvar was reading the article.
Yeah.
Hibara passed one of the good berries to Mara.
Isn't she wonderful?
Floxen really is gonna get the entirety of this entire in trouble, isn't he? Ugh.
Sounds about right.
Indeed. Thelvar's still flipping through the paper. Oh, my lord. This Daily Trumpet really peddles some strange conspiracy theories. They've got one here that claiming that the Mass Lord elections were rigged.
Do they even have elections?
No, which is the strangest thing.
They're elected by their peers, if you want to call it that.
Who is that girl I see?
As Mara's is singing, the door opens and it's Jarvis. Jarvis has brought your favorite pastries, Thelvar, because they don't miss a trick. And they set a box of the pastries that you like on the counter and say, oh, did you have an enjoyable evening at the opera?
Oh, indeed I did.
I'm a pretty princess.
You are a delightfully beautiful princess.
Yay, pretty princess.
And you found the paper birds, and they open up the drawer and just sort of show you the box and shake it. You can hear like paper rustling inside. So, yeah, and apologies. It was Gorko had asked me what the flyer was before I really understood what it was, and I started reading off spell scrolls available, 10% off. You can get, and then he was very excited. I did mention to him that he doesn't really get paid for this job, and that you would probably be fine with buying him a spell scroll. Sorry.
Indeed. I can take him there.
Take me there. I want to go there. Take me there. Let's go there. Take me to vast places, wonderful people. God damn it, now.
And she's like spinning around, like doing a Disney thing, like waiting for a bird to land on her hand. And she dances around.
That wasn't even a Disney song.
Well, I know, but you're dancing like a Disney princess. That was my point.
I am, but that was definitely not a Disney song. That was something else. I don't even know what that was. Actually, what song is that from?
All right, so
If I don't mind taking him, I could peruse, see if there's any interesting spells I could pick up.
Mm-hmm. So the carpenters should be arriving here a little bit later today. They had some sort of emergency job. I think they got hired to do some repairs associated with the fireball. So what was on your agenda today?
Good question.
We need to report in on our findings on the dragon.
And
I went to go talk to Daby last night.
Oh, jolly good, jolly good. I assume you informed her that we found her a new temporary home, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Barbara, quick question. Why did you decide to do that alone in the middle of the night?
I mean,
Curious.
Well, I needed to fix my spells because I didn't have the ones I needed to get there prepared. So that means I needed to meditate for 4 hours. And that just kind of worked out so that it was midnight. Plus, y'all had the cart, and I needed to get that so that it would be easy to get out of the city and back in. So it just kind of happened that way.
I mean, we could have just gone together in the morning.
Well, it's not my fault that y'all people need to sleep for 8 hours.
I mean, I guess you got me there. Just shrugs.
Jolly good. So, yes, we can take Daby.
How is the pretty dragon? I miss her so much.
It's gotten bigger.
She's gotten bigger.
No, I mean, a little bit. Just a baby.
But that's still okay. I love her. I miss her.
Yes, we can go and take her to meet our new friend and her new cave mate. And then I suppose we should track down this horse, of course.
Horse, of course.
Hibara doesn't know about the horse.
I don't know about the horse either.
Yeah, you didn't tell him either of them what happened
You
at your
didn't
meeting.
tell anybody about the horse.
I didn't tell you about the horse. Oh,
No,
of course,
I'm
of
just-
course I
no.
did.
What is this for? They're all over the place. There's one outside. What do you need a horse for?
Well, a horse is a horse, of course, but this particular horse is a talking horse.
Like Mr. Ed?
Mr. Who?
All horses talk.
I mean, not human languages.
Yes. This one's
Yes.
common.
Oh, hey, that is a little weird. Where is it?
Clue, did you remember where he said?
Nope. I was getting very drunk that night.
So
Oh, God. We're doomed.
you
do-
need to find a horse, but you don't know where it is.
Let me see. It was a long night.
Belvar, if you want to roll
Oh.
me a intelligence check to see if you remember, and Clue can do it with disadvantage because he wasn't actually paying attention. He was only mildly paying attention. More thinking
Miles? Oh, my God.
Ah, damn it.
about.
Yeah.
Clue, you noticed, you remember him mentioning the words the yawning portal, just because, it's one of the places that Yagra works.
Mhm.
Not works, but, goes to hang out, so you guys meet there a lot, so you remember that.
Yarning portal, I guess.
Help us all.
And
I'm not going back there.
doesn't that have a lot of horses? Like always?
I mean,
Because it's the bar?
winter horses in front of bars on occasion. It's not like most people just leave a horse in front of the bar.
Are you sure?
I mean, yeah, generally people get out of the carriage and then the carriage moves on. You generally there's not a lot of space in the middle of town to just park 100 carriages or something.
Well, you're just looking for a horse, not a carriage.
There's not people riding a horseback in the middle of the city. Basically all carriages.
She turns to Belvar. Really?
Yes, I believe he did say it worked at pulling a cart.
Oh.
It's kind of an undercover horse.
More like a
Stealth
taxi.
horse.
More like a taxi than a cart. You guys have a cart.
Yes, yes, that's right. It was a taxi. So it's kind of a cart.
Love and marriage, love and marriage.
Yes, she is an undercover horse. We have to be very careful because her handler doesn't quite know that she speaks.
But
I can see the wheels in Hibara's brain going.
How? That's kind of something you'd notice. Wait, are you even sure it's a horse?
I'm sure it's a horse.
Are you sure? Because I can be a horse.
I'm
Do you just
sure
need a horse
can.
that talks? Because I'm pretty sure I can do that too.
No,
mean,
we
we
need
need
a
that
horse that
specific
talks and knows specific information. You are hard work sometimes, Hibara.
Well, you're the one who's looking for a horse with no information.
You really should have paid attention, Telvar.
I'm sorry, that cheek just
Clue
so
is
nice.
right there.
He was getting shit-faced.
Ooh.
All right, so as this conversation, you hear a at the front door.
Open it! It's the popo! I don't know where that accent came from. I'm sorry, guys.
Jarvis sorts of make their way around the bar because you guys are still squabbling or whatever it is you call it. And opens the door and says, "Oh, hello, welcome. Please come in." And as they step aside, the morning light sort of shadows or creates a silhouette. You see the silhouette of a tall human, looks like man, but very slender.
I was
And
going to say a horse.
not a horse. No.
It's a horse in a trench coat.
When he walks in, so the way that I'm sort of picturing him is, think about like Viggo Mortensen circa Lord of the Rings, but combed his hair. Okay? Not that scraggly kind of shitty, like greasy, I've been 3 weeks in the woods without a shampoo kind of look. Which, has its place. But all right, so that kind of look. Although, sort of like silver. Kelsey's liking that, right?
No, I'm just laughing because I'm like, there's Viggo Mortensen, Lord of the Rings, but then you're like, he's kind of he's not quite scraggly looking, so my brain went instantly to Hidalgo.
Oh, right. Yes. That's just yeah.
And so
Different.
now I have a combination of Lord of the Rings, Hidalgo, Viggo Mortensen, and that's why I'm over here chuckling.
Okay, got it. You can see that
So
his...
just excuse me.
Okay. He's got a bit of, salt and pepper in his beard, but his hair is still quite luxurious and dark, and sort of looks around, sort of does a really, not over the top, but almost like a courtly bow to Jarvis, and then sort of turns to you, everybody there, who's, sort of like still bleary-eyed, drinking your coffee and looking at the paper, and does again a very courteous, courtly, like low bow, and says, "Do I have the pleasure of addressing PN2C?"
Oh, indeed you are, indeed you are. And now I've got audio back. I was trying to say I was more picturing Agent Smith.
Not quite. He's not quite that. Yeah, I guess you could see that as well. I mean, that sort of vein. You see that he's dressed in a deep crushed purple velvet with white lining, like along the lapel and also along the sleeves. And he's got a dark purple 3/4 hat with a large white feather. He's got also dark satin trousers that dip down into black boots but are cuffed in like the same kind of purple velvet. And the clasps that keep his jacket close are an elaborate working of like black, I want to say not cord, but like a heavier weave, with a big button on it. And you can see it, so it's not, it's very fancy. It's not too fancy, but you can kind of get a showman feel from this guy.
Mhm.
I understand.
Okay, now I'm seeing Red Skull, guys. This is great.
You are the people who were able to talk the other day in the dragon in the harbor. Is this true?
Indeed it is, indeed it is. I am Thalvar, human combat mage, and these are my companions, Clue, Habara, Mara, Gorko.
It is a pleasure to meet you. I have to say, I have only been in town for 2 days, but I've heard of your tales. Quite magnificent. You were the people who saved the city after an earthquake from an unknown underground danger. Is this right?
Indeed it is, indeed it is.
Yes, and then there was an explosion just outside of your house, and you were some of the first people on the scene rescuing people and saving lives. Is this also correct?
Yes,
Not
it is.
really.
I mean, not a lot of people were saved. They were pretty dead when we arrived.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
it's kind of hard to save burnt bodies.
you rendered aid.
We tried. That's about it.
Well, I have to
Yes,
say,
we saved a child and that woman.
that's
I mean,
very
yeah, but
heroic.
they were mostly fine.
Well, I come to Waterdeep occasionally, and I always like to know the people who are very impressive in Waterdeep. And since this is the first I heard of you, when I did hear of you, I made a beeline so that I could meet you face to face. Oh, I'm sorry, I have not introduced myself. I am Commander Zordas Zord at your service. And he bows very deeply.
Commander.
Who is that?
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Lord Zordos Zord.
Yes. Well, as I told you, I love to know interesting people. And so I would be most honored if tonight or tomorrow night or the night after, you would allow me to be your host. I would very much like to have you dine with me, and I would love to hear these amazing stories of your adventures.
Would be my pleasure to furnish you with the tales of our adventures, Lord Zord.
Ah, Commander, but please, just call me,
Commander
please
Zord.
call me Zardos, or Zard, or Z, whatever. Yeah,
Ooh.
How
Lord
weird is he?
Okay, so insight. How weird is he? You have to, like, okay, like you get like I said, you get like a showman feel off of him, but you'll have to be more specific on your because you did,
Like,
you know.
okay, is it showman like theater showman or showman like used car salesman showman?
Much more like theater, much more like
Okay.
theater show. Yeah, is it?
I'm gonna go with "Steal Your Baby in the Middle of the Night" showman.
Made to deal with Satan showman, yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
there you go.
Well, also, I have brought a gift as well. He opens the door. He's like, Henri, please come in. Henri comes in. He's a human. I guess I'm thinking about like you're going back in my notes. And he's got a box that he's carrying. Let's say it's like shoulder width and the length of a forearm, just like a wooden box. And Zardos sort of loosens up the top, and Henri kind of like leans forward, and you can see that there are bottles with hay and other things to prevent them from breaking. As we have just arrived, well, the other day we came from Luskin. I would love for you to have this. It's a local beer. I don't know if you like it. The tax people, if you bring more than 12 bottles, they say it's for distribution. So I could only bring you 12. But yes, I would. When I heard about your tales again, I was so impressed. I wanted to make a good impression. So please take this case of beer from my hometown of Luskin and enjoy it at any time. So yes, I would very much have you like to have you come for dinner. What's Mara looking for?
The insight on the beer.
Ah, okay. Yeah, well, actually, you can do, Henri comes and he sets it down. If you want to just pick it up, what you can see is that it looks like a normal beer. I mean, you could test it on the bobs if you wanted to, but it doesn't look like it's been tampered with in any way. It looks a little bit dusty, and the hay smells faintly of like the scent of the sea.
I don't
Could
trust beer from the
I-
French. If it was
Could I-
wine or champagne, I would trust it. But I don't trust
Oh, we cannot
wine
grow.
from I don't trust beer from the French.
We cannot grow grapes in Luskin. It's not the right climate. But you can have beer anywhere.
Could
Mhm.
I use my brew supply proficiency just to check if I knew the
I love how
kind
none of
beer
us
this
trust
is?
it.
Sorry, there was some crosstalk there. What was the last part of your sentence?
Yeah, to just check if I know this kind of beer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead. And you want to do me, let's see, what kind of role is that? Not medicine, nature,
mean, I have
history, or... Oh,
Brewer supply
oh, okay.
proficiency.
Yeah. Okay, then just roll me a 20 and add your proficiency.
Yeah, it's normally I'll do it with wisdom.
Oh, yeah, okay.
20.
Yeah.
Nice.
You pick it up, and from what you can tell, it is from a legit Luskin brewery. You've never traveled to Luskin, but you have heard tales that you know that there are pirates that hang out in Luskin, and pirates do enjoy their ales and their beers. So if this was, you think, if this is good enough for pirates, we'll probably really like this.
So looks good actually.
Oh, of course, I would only bring you the best. I want to make a good impression for my city.
Mara
I
looks at him and
appreciate
goes,
it.
"Aren't you hungover from last night? I don't trust you."
Yes, well, if, would you be free this evening?
I think we are.
Yes, I believe we should be.
Well, excellent. If you can come down to the dock ward, sort of near the southern ward part site, you will see my two ships now are docked closer to the city. If you can approach either of them, my crew will bring you out to my own ship, which I keep a little bit farther out in the harbor, away from the noise and the smell and the bustle, you know? So yes, if you just look for either the Hellraiser or the Heartbreaker, one of my crew members will bring you to my captain's ship, which is the Eyecatcher.
Ah, very good, very good. I'm sure we will be there promptly.
Yes, well, come anytime. Anytime after 6, I will be there at the end of my day, having a glass of wine or beer, depends. Waterdeep, they have very nice wine, so I pick some up on my way to do paperwork with the city. You see, I am part of the Sea Maidens Fair. I come to Waterdeep every time there's a big festival. We have automatons, they walk through the city. We have jugglers, we have people who walk on sticks and breathe fire. The kids love this thing. So, yes, but sadly, I need like a week to do the paperwork and get the tax forms, and so I have a little time to kill, and I must say, you seem a most interesting group. Hibara, what are you rolling for?
Oh, I'm pretty sure Hibara failed at remembering the name of the ship.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
No, but those
Somehow
are the names of the ship, though, Hibara.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, you've made me very happy. I look forward to your tales of adventure, and perhaps I can tell you a tale or two myself. And
Before you go,
Yes.
Sherry,
Jolly
Oh.
good. I look forward to it.
why do you always interrupt me?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry, Tova, honey. Sherry, Ducky.
yeah,
tell
he's
me.
oh, madame, I must say you are a vision so early in the morning. You must rise and before dawn to look this fantastic. It's amazing.
Oh, you flatter an old duck. Thank you. Now tell me, you mentioned automatons, yes?
Yes. That is part of my parade. We
Have
do.
you worked with any of our automaton makers here in Waterdeep?
Some of the larger ones, yes. Most people here in Waterdeep, they know the walking statues and they bring out for the festival. But I've also found Lantanese craftsmen and wizards are really breaking some ground in this craft.
Well, when we dine with you tonight, do you mind telling me a few stories of a couple of the vendors you work with here? Because I would die, just die. No more.
Sherry, I could never deny you anything. Of course. I will say yes to whatever you ask.
Oh, you flatterer. Thank you.
Well,
Thank
it's
you.
not hard when your beauty inspires such poetry in a man's heart.
Mm.
So he's starting like kind of getting to feel like he's like, I maybe shouldn't be hitting on Mara this much in front of everyone else. So he says, you know, it's like, so thank you very much. I look forward to our evening together. And he looks over at Mara.
As do I.
So, I will say, it's not adieu, only au revoir. Au revoir.
Wow.
And to you.
So, he and Henri head out. Henri's like, he's just like kind of hanging out. He just looked like a cabin boy who had to haul the beer all the way in from the dock ward. So anyway, yeah, you're left with a case of beer and an invitation.
Do not touch that beer.
No, what we do is we let Clue drink it, and if Clue gets sick, then we know it's okay.
He's already opening a bottle at this point. Jesus.
Cool. Put
Okay,
the bottle
but-
down.
It's
One,
fine, Telvar. It's not been opened.
no.
It's from a right brewery. Like, there's nothing wrong with the beer.
It's
No,
a gift
exactly.
from Alaskan pirate who's the captain of the ship that is harboring the automaton we are seeking.
Yes.
I'm aware of that much, but that doesn't mean the beer is. There's anything wrong with the beer. Like, he's not.
Wait.
I would not trust that beer.
He's from the ship?
Yeah. Which actually is pretty easy, because I was thinking about maybe raiding that thing, but if they're just gonna let us in,
Yes.
I mean,
Salvar, I'm gonna need another dress.
Of course, Mara. You are welcome to help yourself to any of the dresses in my mother's closet.
All right, I'm gonna have to find
Some
something
good
a little
use.
more. Do you know if your mother had anything more risque?
Oh, I'm sure she did from her younger days.
Ugh.
She never threw anything out, and from what I see around town, all those dresses are coming back into style again.
Because I think we're gonna have to put me up to sacrifice.
I'm gonna sacrifice myself, you know, for the team for Viggo Mortensen.
I mean, no.
I mean, I would do it for Hidalgo. So
Okay,
let's
Hidalgo.
not get it
All right,
twisted.
okay.
A noble
And
gesture.
actually, let's not get it twisted. A combination of all four of those versions of him, yeah. I'm not mad.
Oh, by
Yes,
the way,
I'm okay with a bit of a Red Skull Nazi. Yeah, he had power. I'm not mad.
Okay.
Power is power, man. But whatever. Anyway, I have problems. But yes, if we're going to get in and we're going to find the stupid automaton, someone is going to need to distract him. And apparently, he was eating. He has fine taste, and I can swallow the crazy for a little bit.
I mean, I don't know if that'll be necessary, mostly because, you know, 3 boats. We're probably not just gonna take that thing out of there without planning first. So
Yes, but at least we can find it, and then Belvar can convince it to go with them. With you.
What if it went on land with the submarine?
I mean, yeah, fair
We'll cross
point.
that bridge when we get to it. But right now, if we could get onto said boat and find out what's on said boat,
I mean, we're going on to the boat, that much for sure. I just don't know if we particularly want to try and push anything yet. Maybe just recon first.
exactly. But to do recon, you need someone to be a distraction. Yes.
Not
can only set boat on
necessarily.
fire.
Don't light him
That's
fire.
distracting.
Let's minimize the collateral damage first. Yeah.
Let's not light the boat we're on fire, okay?
Yeah, which is why I'm sacrificing myself as tribute.
I feel like you're not sacrificing yourself. I feel like you just want to do this and are looking for an excuse.
Okay, one, the French stink. Ugh. Gross. Trust me, they lose every single time. Like, they're kind of useless.
The lady does protest too much, I feel.
Ugh. Trust me.
I don't think he's gonna kill you. He seemed to like you.
That doesn't mean they don't kill you, though.
By the way, Clue,
But
you're
no-
you're picking up a sort of a fermented with using roasted malts for the darker color, but also a lot of hop bitterness and a hop flavor and aroma, in your beer.
Oh, that's sad.
Good
There's nothing
stuff.
else. Just hoppy.
Well,
Hey,
it's also got
hoppy's
the
good.
roasted malts as well. So it's got
Huh.
that sort of darker kind of heavier feel to
You
it.
don't understand.
So sorry, I just I'm just picturing Clue watching having this conversation while he's sipping his morning
Yep.
beer.
Ducky, if I'm gonna go for somebody, they're gonna be a winner. And that guy ain't a winner.
I mean, I'm
Okay.
not saying you're planning on staying in with him for a long time. I mean,
He bottom of the rung.
He does have
You know
3 boats. And
I
aren't
mean,
those
that's
expensive?
decent. I mean,
Ducky,
depends on
you
the
don't
size of the boat.
understand.
And I have an idea.
Tell me something good, Delvar. Tell me something good.
We will obviously be engaged for a while speaking to this gentleman, but I can have Aloysius take on a new, smaller form and have him do some scouting for us while we are otherwise engaged.
No one's understanding. If I'm the one distracting him, he's not going to care where the 3 of you are.
It's like,
I mean,
I was like, Mara's like, I'll be in the bedroom with him. You guys can go wherever you want.
I mean, the ship still has crew on it that may not want us snooping around. I mean, I
Whereas
guess
a little
Yes,
rat running
If you're
around the
guests,
ship is
you
nothing.
lie. Lie.
Yes, but a
Just
rat
like-
running around the ship is something that will not draw any attention.
Fine.
not particularly, no, but while you're doing that, we can all distract him, really.
Indeed, indeed.
But- Okay.
And
Well,
then
honey, I
if we
didn't
need-
realize that you wanted me that badly. All you had to do was ask.
And then once we have an idea of the layout and anywhere that we need to explore in person, then you can perform your distraction while we slip away.
Now I'm performing. Great.
What if? So let's say we find this automaton. Then what?
You guys are looking for a nimblewright. So the
Yeah.
difference is the automatons are like bigger, kind of more ceremonial things, but your nimblewright, the description of it is much more like a thin human. So they're kind of like distinctive. So just like as
No, she was just using it in the colloquial.
okay, yep, all
Like
right.
robot.
Yeah, just for clarification, because I know I said, with automatons, but I wanted to make sure that you guys understood that nimblewrights are kind of like a unique thing. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Thelvar was doing the
I think
same.
that we all know we're just using it in a.
Yeah, okay. Got it.
Colloquial.
Got
Yeah.
it. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the conversation flow. Let's go.
That's okay. But yes,
So we find it, and then what?
then we deal with it. Hopefully
mean-
peacefully, but
Let's
Light the boat on fire.
No.
not with us on it, no.
also, we probably shouldn't forget that Robo also stole the thing the post open lord wants. So we not just there for the nimble right. Also the
Stole the
weird
what
No, he didn't steal it. He wanted to steal it, but he didn't get it.
No,
How do you
no,
know?
he's the one who cast the fireball and then got it. So whoever he's working for has the thing we want.
No, he cast
Wow.
the fire, killed the thing, and then Xanathar, rogue Zent leader.
Oh, did
Ursula
Floxen
Floxen.
get it? Oh, I thought
Yeah.
Floxen just ran away.
No, Floxen ran over to the body, rummaged through his pouches, and then ran.
That is correct.
Oh.
My brain hurts.
But if this guy has the automaton, shouldn't he then have Floxum too?
I mean, Floxen ran away, so who knows where he is. He's after Floxen, which we could use. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to send a pirate after a Zentarum.
Or at
Like,
least,
even if he's...
or at least he's after what Floxen has.
Hmm. I mean, the thing is, even if he's fucking up, he's still Zentarum. I can't just let people murder him.
You
Sure.
say that.
I mean, if I have to, I'll murder him, but I can't just send random people to do it.
That's fair enough.
So we're gonna go on this guy's boat in the middle of the harbor by ourselves.
Indeed.
Fair
but-
point. We probably need to make sure we have an escape route if things do go tits up.
Of course, and as we're visiting our bronze friend out in the harbour, or just beyond the harbour, we can arrange a getaway.
Can she come in the harbor?
I
Oh,
don't
wait,
know how far
other one.
barrack-
I think it's just the city itself that's protected.
The way that
Yeah,
I've
but the actual docks bit of the harbor may still be part of that.
So the way that I've interpreted it is, I'll take you back to the other map of Waterdeep. Sorry, swap. I put myself there and I forget. You guys don't see what I see. Okay. If you the map so that you can see the full harbor at the bottom. Okay, sorry, my laptop just froze up for a second. The way that I interpret the spell for the warding of the dragons is that it includes the Great Harbor and the Naval Harbor. That just tactically makes sense to me. So the way that I think about it is where the city wall runs. That's kind of also where the range of the spell is, and that is why Zelafar can hang out just beyond the wall, but he couldn't follow ships into the Great Harbor to check them out anymore. So you'd have to fly, around that because they have that dragon off. I don't know. It's like I don't know what you're like. What is
The
like?
dragon field.
Yeah, the dragon field. It's like what is a repellent? Like an equivalent repellent, like water repellent, dragon repellent, force field. Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess the harbor's not that big, so we could technically swim, but you
Yeah,
could still shoot at you while you swim.
It might not be. Aaron's Dragon Ward was created by centered under Agiron's Tower. The mythical projected a permanent 12,800 foot radius dome, which encompassed the city as it existed in Agathon's day. In newer areas of Waterdeep, the effects were less severe or non-existent.
Okay, are you appealing the ruling of the DM? Is that what's going on here? Because that's how I set up the narrative to let Daby and Darafor where I set them up. Are you doing that for information, or are you appealing the ruling of the DM, or what?
I'm just letting you know what it says on the Forgotten Realms wiki.
Oh, okay, right. Like I said, for this game, because the whole pulling in dragons is not cool. Like the city would not be very happy with you guys. Just like, they would look down on that. So I kind of kept the dragon like you guys went to Underhill, and the Great Harbor. I figured they wouldn't want dragons messing in there.
Wait, hold on. Question. So where we're going to be going?
Like right there.
Yeah, he's docked. He's got 2 ships that are now basically like where you would dock to offload things. The Heartbreaker and the Hellraiser, but his main ship is a little bit farther out into deeper waters, away from the noise.
So would our is he a brass dragon friend if we were in trouble?
He's you have to remember his caves are still marked in purple.
Wait, where the hell am I?
It's all the way south to
Caves are there, ships there.
Hold on, I can't see shit.
It's okay. It's a very large map, and you can zoom in. It takes you ages to get anywhere. So go all the way south.
It's the other side of Deepwater Isle, right at the bottom.
All right, so I see the box.
Yep.
So where? Okay.
That's where you guys found Zelifar.
Yeah.
Okay, Zelifar is there.
Yep, and that's where you're gonna set Daby up to be safe.
And the ships are roughly here. How long would it take us with potions of water breathing?
That's what Hibara was gonna say.
You'd need like
here.
That's a really long distance to swim.
Yeah,
Hours.
See, because my question was going to be, could he? Because I wasn't even going to say like us go to him. Like if we were in trouble.
I mean, he's in the water most of the time. He's got some caves. Most of his caves, if you read the description, they're underwater caves. But it's because he knows some caves above ground that are more suitable for Daby that he was also willing to like let her come and hang out, because he doesn't actually want anyone to find out where his hoard is. That's his motivation. Like,
okay.
So,
so here's my question. Mm-hmm. If we were to be in trouble, i.e. Mara be in trouble, I don't care about anybody else, just Mara.
Okay.
If Mara was in trouble because the rest of the team is just lollygagging,
or the boat's on fire.
or the boat's on fire for some bizarre reason, would the dragon be able to come and rescue her? On the boat?
So that's the thing. If the boat is in the harbor, like I said, my interpretation of the dragon warding, because based on the Ac Inc. stuff and where you guys were in the dock ward, it was in effect there.
Mm-hmm.
And so because she couldn't come up, it just makes sense that, to me, to interpret it as like the city walls are sort of the ring. Now maybe, he could get as far as into the island, but as he gets closer, the dock ward where Daby was, you guys were trapped underneath, was around in this area.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not so far away from where the ships are for the spell to just suddenly stop like like the edge of a cliff. So
no, he wouldn't be able to come and rescue me.
Well,
so
I don't know how he would. I don't know how he would hear you, because like I said, most of the time he's underwater. And then even if he heard you, the distance to get to you would be several rounds if you were in combat, for instance. And then third, he might get, even if there was a weakening, he could get close. But depending on where Zardos has his ship docked, I mean, it could be, you don't know where he's moved it. He's moved all 3 ships since yesterday.
That's true.
This morning. So he could be a little ways off, or he could be way back in the harbor. Not quite sure yet. For all those reasons, probably not.
Don't do anything crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
I can work with that.
While reporting on the dragon to the Black Staff, could ask them if they have the dragon staff of Agiron, because then we could temporarily allow our bronze friend to come in, explain to them why we need it, and the fact that they're. But I think Kristi doesn't want us using the dragon, period. So. Well,
it's not that I don't want you to use it. It's just that's kind of like the whole logic of why I put Zelifar there. And also, I was informed by the fact that, Daby couldn't come up through the ductwork. So I'm just I'm keeping the narrative consistent from my point of view.
So, could I, when we report to the Black Staff, ask about borrowing the Dragon Staff of Agneron?
Yeah, you can ask. You can certainly ask. Yeah. So.
So
there's a possibility.
Since it's still the morning,
we should unite Daby with the other dragon first.
Yeah.
And then
That's what I'm saying. We pick up Daby, we take it to the brass, tell the brass our plan. No, first off, we go report to the Black Staff on the status of the dragons. Ask them if they got the staff. If they have, we go pick up Daby, go take her to a new home, and then we can touch the bronze dragon, whose name I forget.
There's Zelifar and Daby.
Yeah, then can touch Zalafar with the dragon staff, which will enable them to come within the dragon ward for as long as the wielder of the staff allows. So,
yeah, like I don't have a dragon. Like it's not like I'm trying to defeat you guys from using dragons in this instance. So you're happy to use them in Undercliff or the field wards, probably. It's just I think this is part of the older part of the city, one of the original, deep water areas. So, yeah, I mean it's a good idea if it wasn't for the damn, dragon proof, magics.
Well, it's worth trying. I presume it will be some sort of like persuasion check. We'll see how it goes. It's an option. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying you can ask as in it's going to fail. It's just I don't know what's going to happen. So we'll find out. So we'll see how the reactions are.
We should go to the Black Staff lady now.
I mean, we do have to turn in that job.
Yep. Because I would think an item of that import would remain in the city, and who better to hold on to it than the Black Staff? It just follows. Whether she would lend it to us or not, that's a different matter. We'll have to,
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So you've got pastries, by the way, still, and coffee.
Yep.
So I take it you guys have that and go and sort of get ready, except for Mara. I don't know if Mara's going to change or she's just going to.
No, she's going to change.
Okay, right.
Because at some point she's going to have to change again because she is now having to figure out what the hell she's going to wear tonight. She's just like, did I see anything?
Yep.
And Ward is like, no, but maybe we can mutilate something, or maybe there is something in there that we can slutify. Who knows?
Slutify.
The weirdest of spells.
That is a weird spell. You're right.
I love that word. It is such a fun word.
No, I like the word, and then Clue just added the cherry on top by pretending it was a spell.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Jarvis is like, you want me to call you a cart? James probably is off for the day. I think he needed his rest, but we can organize someone else to take you where you need to go.
Indeed. Summon Parker.
Parker, God.
So, say about 20 minutes. Does that give you enough time, or a half hour? When did you guys want to leave?
Yes, 20 minutes, half hour. That should be fine. Unless anyone needs extra time.
No.
Then half an hour will be fine.
Yes, I'll book you in for a trip to the Blackstaff Tower. Right, so you guys go upstairs, do your stuff, come back down. You have to wait like closer to 35 minutes, but the cart and the horse, the horse is slow, do show up at the front door. And you're on the city map already. So yeah, you need to go to Blackstaff Tower, which I don't know if someone else wants to look. I'm not sure. What does it say? What it is? No, of course not, because that would be really useful information to have. But I think I'm just trying to. I thought you guys
Wasn't it over here?
You know what I can do is I actually have a app on my phone that's a map of Waterdeep. So I can look it up just to make sure.
It's in the castle ward.
Oh, okay. So yes, head down to the castle ward.
And it is on Sword Street.
Excellent, thank you. Yes, so it'll take you a little while to get there. It's sort of coming up to 12 o'clock when the horse and cart pull up to the front gates, and it is a very impressive building. It's a fortress combined with a wizard training academy, so it has very imposing looking a facade to it, and areas that you can tell are for arrow slits or other kinds of ranged attacks. But there's also kind of like a bit of hustle and bustle as people are moving around. Come up to the front entrance where there's like a reception area, somebody in kind of wizardy looking stuff that probably knows some spells if she needs to use them. And yeah, she's a dwarf. Looks to be quite a young dwarf, but also old for her years, and that she looks quite jaded. Says, yes, what can I do for you?
Yes, we are the members of PN2C. We're here to report our findings to the Blackstaff.
Okay, let me call upstairs and see what's going on. So she kind of like shuts the window, like the glass door, so you can't hear, and kind of uses a sending stone, and says, after a couple minutes comes back and says, yeah, do you remember the name of your handler?
No. No.
Describe them?
We had a handler.
It's the fake drunk guy.
Oh, Otis. Okay, yeah. I just need to know who your handler is so I know where to forward the call. All right, hold on a second. She kind of like shuts the window again.
Forward the call.
And
She comes back. It's like she's still a little bit on the standing stone. Like, no, we should go out tonight. She kind of looks at you like, just 1 minute, please. No, we should go. We should definitely. Come on. It's your birthday. We should go. All right, I'll talk to you about it later. Meet me for lunch? 5 minutes? Okay. She looks up at you and says, yeah, all right, if you go up to the main gates and give it a couple minutes, and Andreas will be there to meet with you.
Very good, very good. And I can highly recommend the opera. They have a very good opera on. It's something in Draconic, which is a bit more harsh than the traditional Elvish, but I'm sure you would enjoy it greatly.
Oh, where's that on?
It's at the Opera House.
Wait, wasn't it giant, not draconic?
Yes.
Sorry, it's in giant.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you were talking about the aria you were singing. So, you remember the name of it?
Horde of the Dragon Queen.
That's it. Horde of the Dragon Queen.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Thanks for the tip.
You're welcome. So onwards, my friends.
Yes. So as you leave the entrance, which is, the first part of it is a sort of stone facade, and once you get past the entrance, it's like a large university quad area. But if you can kind of think about Oxford, except not with really light colored stone, more like a ashy kind of stone color. It's a little more in the mood of the Black Tower. And as you go across the quad, you can walk across a path, stay off the grass signs, if you've been to Oxford. Right? And there's another gate at the end of this quad. And you can see that people are being more let in and let out, as opposed to the quad area where people are able to move more freely. You wait a few minutes, and you are met by a halfling who says, hello. My name is Andreas, and I understand that you guys work with Otis?
That's correct. That's correct. Andreas, he tasked us with investigating the recent dragon sightings. So we've come to report to the Black Hand, and while we're at it, we was going to ask for some help.
Okay, well, I think she's got a free 15 minutes before her next appointment. I can, if you want to come up in the lobby, I can ask her. And yeah, come follow me. So in this sort of gated area, there's the buildings overhead. He turns to the left and takes you up a set of spiral stairs carved into the stone. You see, you kind of like go past the first floor, second, third floor. You come up onto the third floor, and if you remember, she's got this really like spacious office. But at this point, like the doors, the very tall doors to her office are closed, and Andreas shows like waves you at you towards some chairs that are set in the hallway and said, just give me a couple of minutes, talk amongst yourselves. I will check back with you in just a quick second. See, I can't guarantee a meeting, but I do know she has a gap, and I think she talked to you guys last time, so just hang on here for
Jolly good.
Yeah, so you sit for a bit, and after a couple minutes, Andreas comes back and he says, yeah, it's going to be closer to like 10 minutes now because it took us a little while to get here and she was in the middle of something. But yeah, if you want to come right through, you certainly can.
Oh, thank you very much.
So I'm having a quick look. Right, yes, so Vraja Safar is there. She's looking stunning as ever. She's got very, her eyes kind of have a curiosity about you guys. Like she's not quite sure why you would be showing up, but she seems busy but not unhappy to see you. She's really rocking her her dark hair is kind of pulled back, and she's got on I guess you'd call it the Waterdeep version of a business suit for a power suit for a lady. So she's clearly got like some kind of big meeting later on this afternoon. She says, please come in, there are seats right here. You have something to report to me, I understand.
Yes, Mistress Savar. We do indeed. We'll try to be as brief as possible. We know you're a busy lady, but we have solved your dragon mystery.
Oh.
Yes, the brass dragon is a young refugee hiding from a green dragon that we're going to be working on solving a problem. That problem. She was staying out at the farms, but she will now be staying in the caves with the bronze dragon, who is also absolutely no threat.
Okay.
They're very friendly, and they didn't mean to frighten anyone. They were just asking for some tips. So, yes, they pose
asking
absolutely
for tips.
no threat.
Were they doing tricks or something?
No, not that sort of tips. Tips on where they could find some treasure, notable sunken wrecks, that sort of thing.
Ah, I see. Well, that's fantastic. Absolutely stellar work. I actually think this is yes, of course. I knew there was a reason I said yes to your meeting. You are also the same group, now that I recognize you, now that I remember, who did the exploring work with the mysterious and troublingly powerful altar that sits underneath our city right now.
Yes, that would be us.
Ah, right. Okay. Well, yes, this is fantastic. I'm glad you stopped by. Actually, it saved me using a paper bird because Otis had made this proposal to me, I thought it was, given your record here and the services you've provided to the city, a fairly good one. Would like to offer each of you, anyone who is willing to take up the cause for protecting us and the city from magic or any other threats, to join Force Grey.
I would be honored to accept.
I won't be offended if anyone says no, but does anyone else in your party have a willingness to serve the city with your talents and time and for reasonable compensation?
I mean,
I don't need money. That's what you're saying.
Okay.
mean-
We give you a special magic item.
Okay.
I mean, I'll gladly take a job, but I have my allegiances already.
Fair enough. I prefer honesty to double dealing. And you, miss? She looks at Mara.
And Mara's just kind of looking at her fingernail, going, I'll take a job, but I like to keep my options open, if I'm honest.
Well, fair enough. You've built up enough reputation. We will think no less of you. I understand again that sometimes, people are willing to take on these responsibilities, and others prefer to be a bit more free. We only want those who want to work with us. So, what I can do is schedule you for a meeting. We can have a private meeting. I don't have time today, but if you could come back tomorrow. However, as long as you do promise to come back, I can offer you your benefits when you leave, before you leave the office today. It's kind of nicer to do it with the ceremony, but I also understand that, if you want to be getting on with your day, maybe these would be of use to you. So, yes.
That would be very good. We also do have a request. A bit of an unusual one. That we would be very gracious if you could indulge us.
Sure. What's the request?
As you may be aware, there was a recent attack by our tavern up at Trollskull Alley involving a fireball attack from a nimblewright, as it is turning out. We have a lead, which will involve taking us onto a ship in the harbour that we may need to make a swift exit from. And I've been formulating a bit of an escape plan, but it would require us borrowing very, very temporarily a particular magic item that I believe would be stored here. It's a bit on the powerful side, so it's a bit of a long shot, but it would help us greatly in bringing a swifter end to this little problem.
And that is?
Yes, it's Agahon's dragon staff. Yes, I know this is a very big ask, and I really would not be asking if we could saw any easier way than dealing with it, but we would like to temporarily grant our bronze dragon friend the ability to come in and rescue us if we need a quick escape plan.
All right.
Just into the harbour and then back out again.
Yep. Can I have anyone who is paying attention to her reactions as Thelvar is making his plea to roll me a perception check or an insight check, whichever you want to do. Oh, look at you guys go! Ooh, but Mara especially did. Although Mara's probably going to be the least interested, other than Hibara. But yeah, so Thelvar, you're kind of like getting a reaction from her. You're watching her as you're speaking. And you can tell when you mention the dragon staff, her eyes kind of get a little bit wide and she leans forward a bit. But you're also in the middle of your like pitch. So you're like, don't cut me off. No, let me get to the end. Hibara, you also kind of read her body language, but I think you're just like less interested. I don't know. Clue, you can tell from the way her eyes widened, not only was she like surprised to hear you guys mention the dragon staff of Aghiron. Aghiron, thank you, Aghiron. She drew her eyebrows together in a way that made you think she was, how should I put this? What's the emotional reaction? Slightly panicked at the mention of it. Mara, you notice that as soon as that phrase, the dragon staff of, say it again?
Aghiron.
I'll say it 100 times after we're off air and I'll get it. But Aghiron. Yeah, she looks actually nervous that you guys mentioned this. So I'll let you sit with that for a second. You've done your pitch, and she leans back in her chair and says, here. She reaches into her desk and she pulls out a very beautifully polished wooden box and opens it up, and inside there's a black velvet background on which you can see a pin about the size of if you're American, a 50-cent piece. If European, a little bit bigger than a €2 or 2p or 2 pounds coin. So it's not small, but it's not like the size of your fist. It has a gray hand rising up from a crescent moon on a silver white background. Now, on one of them, in the bottom, there's like a sword. On all of the rows, on the next row, there is like a shield, and then the other one just doesn't have anything. So she turns to Hibara and Delvar and says, the top row will give you a bonus to your attack. It's a +1. It'll help you with your attacks. The second row will help you with your defenses and withstanding or avoiding blows. And then the final row here will allow you to store a spell slot of level 2 or 1. That's what we agreed, right? Or is it 3?
I think up to 2.
Up to 2. Yeah, that sounds right. And so if you can only pick one, but you should go ahead and take your pick.
And you said these are coin.
They are, no, they're the size of a coin, but they're actually pins. And she said what we do is we recommend that you pin them to the inside of your clothing. And when you need to, show them to somebody to prove that you are with us. You'll also know now where to ask someone to show you that they are gray. If they say that they're part of Force Gray, then you know what they should be able to produce in terms of a pin that shows their membership and how they should be hiding it. So just anywhere on the inside of your clothing is fine.
Very good.
Who wants what?
Bara's taking a armor class +1 pin.
Okay. Boom, it's yours.
Thelvar will take a spell storing one.
All right. You each have
Extra
magic
spell
stuff.
slot.
Yeah. She closes up the box and says, I do have to get to my meeting. She sort of thinks. I can't tell you more right now. Perhaps in the future I will be able to. I would consider your request, except for the fact that the staff is currently indisposed. Anyone else want to roll anything for that?
I'm going to.
Okay.
Would that be history or?
If you're reading her, you can do insight again if you want. Okay, clue.
Nice.
Very nicely. Salvar also too, and you can tell that this is She's not turning you down because she thinks it's an unreasonable request, Thelvar. She looks uncomfortable.
Oh shit.
Mara's like, oh, pins, shiny. Oh, maybe I should have said yes. That would go great with my dress. Clue, you're getting the sense that... I don't know how best to put this. 22. She's covering her ass.
Mm-hmm.
Is how I'm going to say this.
Interesting.
She's not putting you off because she's turning you down. She's putting you off because if you were to ask about this more, something embarrassing is going to come up.
Want to roll again? That was embarrassing. Let me roll again.
I
Okay.
mean,
It won't. You won't.
that-
I won't let you. If you want to feel better, you can just roll it. Just like kind of feel better.
Oh look.
Yeah. See, we should have rolled that the first time. Oh, you would have
Wait.
found out what Clue did.
Wait, why are you rolling persuasion here?
Because I was going to ask her,
Oh, okay.
why is it indisposed?
Ah, yes. I've got that meeting to get to. I'm sorry I can't grant your request today, but I do appreciate your service for the city. Again, if any of you at any time who have not joined today would like to join in the future, please consult with us again. I'm sorry to disappoint you, especially after the many services that you have rendered to us, but as I had said, and for reasons I can't go into, indisposed, yes. But please don't, I hope you won't let this put you off in terms of our continued working relationship together.
Yeah, goodbye, Ducky.
No.
Go away.
You no need to worry about that. Come on, guys.
Yes, I'm sure we'll be able to formulate another plan. It
A cab.
will be a bit more risky, but
Yes. Yeah, well, thank you for your service again, and I look forward to hopefully working with you in the future if we have a need of you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. You only call us when you need us.
I mean, that's how jobs work.
Let me know if you
Yeah, but they
find
don't come
anything
back.
cursed.
Okay, we'll do.
Hope you find your staff.
You wait till the door is shut to say that, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, you guys gonna wait till you get out of the building before you confab on this?
yeah.
I think that's, yeah. I don't want to like play for you, but I kind of assume that you guys would be like, okay, we're gonna head out now, and then once you get past the entrance gate, you notice that it's out to lunch on the sign for the dwarven woman who was initially manning the reception desk. And yeah, you're standing outside, halfway between the entrance to the wizardry school / fortress. And who is your driver for the day?
Parker.
Parker, yeah, and Parker. So you're sort of mid-distance, and like there are people walking by, but they're just sort of like having conversations and doing their normal thing.
The dragon staff being missing is not a good sign.
Well,
It's not like they haven't lost things before.
Indeed, but one that is important as that to the security of the city, that is not very good at all.
Are we surprised though?
Frankly, yes, the staff has been safe for hundreds of years until now.
Again, I can't believe you're not surprised that they've lost something. I mean, come on, it's history. Everybody loses something, especially things that
Is this the musical episode?
I was gonna say, no, just like that scene in Monty Python. Like, don't let him start singing. No, but like you've got a beautiful voice. It just kind of reminded me of that. Every time I look
No, I
outside,
don't.
I
That
just
was
feel like...
totally off key, but thank you.
This week's episode of Dragon Heist of Waterdeep, directed by Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking more of what's his bucket? The guy who did High School Musical. Kenny Ortega.
Don't know.
All right. That's where you're going?
That's the way I'm going. I don't want Joss Whedon on any of my stuff. Thank you very much. Kenny Ortega can touch any of my little bits. Not that way.
I mean, I wasn't gonna make the joke, but
Yeah. Anyway, Queen of putting foot in mouth. Yeah, that's me. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, it is the musical episode because apparently today is just singing day. La 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 da 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 da. You put me in a dress. What do you expect? This
All
is
of
what happened.
all of you do a perception roll.
And be careful if it's gonna be the musical episode. I will actually give you a full rendition of Aria di Mezzo.
We did start with the aria, didn't we?
All right, so let's see. Are we just waiting for Thelvar? Is that the last one?
I mean, Corco's with us too, right?
If you wanted him
No.
to be, I don't know. I didn't.
I don't think Darko's with us.
Okay. If he
Okay.
isn't, I won't roll for him.
Mara, you get the distinct sensation of eyes on you. Like you can, you know how that is sometimes. Like you just get that weird thing where you feel compelled to look over your shoulder.
I got the feeling somebody's watching me.
Yes, yes. Do you look over your shoulder to look around to see what's around you?
Of course I do.
All right. You don't necessarily see anything initially, but then you have a moment of realization. You recognize the half-orc that's standing across the street from you as the guy that you beat the crap out of, but then, like...
To be fair,
Let
we didn't
off?
beat the crap out of him.
No, you did. Yeah, you just killed one of his companions that he had to. His workmates didn't really like her anyway, so that's fine.
We did slap him a bunch, though.
I'm threatening to burn the warehouse down around him.
Wait, I
Slash
didn't do
half
any.
burn
That
them
wasn't me. I didn't do shit. Right?
No, that was
Did I
Sabara and Thelvar.
Mostly,
Very
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, I hit a guy.
I'm like, I didn't do anything. I just stood there.
Well, fortunately, you guys stood there and blocked the view of the cop that came sniffing around. So that was
Yeah,
that was
this
good.
is true.
Yeah. So when he sees you, notice him, and you make eye
I wave at
contact.
him. I don't even make eye contact. I wave.
All
go,
right. You see that he's got a piece of paper. He crumples it up and sort of makes a show of just dropping it before walking away. He's across the street from you guys, so he's not. If you waved at someone, yeah, he's like, "I'm out of here." But yeah, he very much left. Made a
You left
point
me
of
present.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Being that
I go to pick it up.
Thelvar's okay, let Mara pick it up.
Silver doesn't. You don't see it. You got a 9.
you just like, hi! Make Thelvar go, ah! Oh, he's dropped some paper. I wonder what it says.
So I walk over, pick up the paper,
Yeah. Inside.
and I don't get hit by a vehicle of any kind.
No, you don't. You look both ways, and fabulously, might I add. And still, you've still got the air of grace, even though you're not wearing the dress. You still have the energy of it.
Yeah.
Big bustle energy. Big hoop energy. It just says, "Your place tonight."
What's it say?
Oh, that sounds like a booty call, if anything.
I'm not the only one that thought that.
Oh, sorry. When you look at it closer, it says midnight.
Yep, that's a booty call.
I mean, not necessarily. A lot of weird things happen at midnight, not all of them sexual.
I hope we'll be done with what's his face by then.
Yeah, like visiting dragons.
Well, you can also, just a meta, you can also leave instructions for Jarvis.
This is true. But the question is this message for us? Or was this message meant for him?
Well, I mean, it seems like it's probably for us.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
I mean, I kind of tried to recruit the guy, so he's probably setting up a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I think with 2 new members of Force Grey, and something that you guys weren't supposed to learn till chapter 5. So like I said, sometimes it's about how you say yes. It's like improv, find a way to make it work. Yeah, the staff is a little bit not sure where it is. Yeah. So when you guys lit on the staff, I was like, well, this is gonna be interesting. So, but you guys rolled the shit out of that interview, so it worked. Yeah, you did well. Got the info. Yeah. So you have a big day ahead of you in our next session. You can do your Daby thing, and you've got a dinner invite, and possibly a secret rendezvous with the enemy.
Ooh.
Also, I have a dress picked out.
And you've already found your dress.
I already found the dress.
Excellent. And I also love the fact that the character's name is Zardos, because it is exactly like the Sean Connery movie that Kevin and I did for Trash Films.
Really?
It is Zardos. It is spelled exactly the same. So it could have been worse. I could have been a hairy guy in a mankini who shows up at your door.
Oh, God.
Whereas just say, I more picked up on the Zord surname and was thinking it was going to recruit us to be color-coded superheroes.
All right, well, if you guys are okay with leaving it there on the street corner with your recent contact, I think we'll leave it until next week.
Awesome.
Yeah, sounds good.
Excellent. Okay, well then, until next Sunday, it's goodbye from me and goodbye from the party. Say goodbye, party.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
party.
party.
They did the bit.